Good morning. Just thought I'd throw up another stream after YouTube's little bullshit earlier. So that's why I decided to name my stream YouTube Sucks. Now, hopefully, we'll get a few people watching. And like normal, I'm going to go ahead and throw the link into the regular chat. See if this damn thing will let me. Let's see here if I see it. I'm not seeing it in StreamYard, so therefore it didn't post in the regular chat. So I will have to post it in StreamYard, which, sure, why not? Okay. Yes. YouTube rejected your comment. That is a fairly common when sharing a link. You may need to share the link another way. I may need to share the link another way. It's my damn stream, YouTube. Why can't I share a link in my chat? Okay, let's try this. StreamYard. Paste. Now, hopefully that comes up in chat. Not sure why YouTube rejected my own link. But anyone who wants to come up in chat is more than welcome to join. This is really, let's go with, see if I can get, okay. You see, I've got somebody backstage. I'm going to try to find out who it is, and it is Aber the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Hello. Oh shit. Mute. Do you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Good. Excellent. Well, we'll see how long this one lasts. As soon as I start roboting, don't be polite, just tell me and then I'll duck out because it's freaking annoying when that happens.
I find it funny. I'm in my own stream. I post the link to my own StreamYard chat.
I don't understand that move. It's unfathomable. Other than like Anichek says, other than just making it really difficult for smaller channels to get publicized and found, I can't see any other reason to deny not only mods but channel owners the ability to post links in their comments.
That's exactly what the comments said. YouTube rejected your comment. Yeah. Fuck you, YouTube.
It's fairly common when sharing a link. No, it fucking isn't. Not until today, anyway. What a YouTube, man.
You know, are they trying to get other companies to want to get into the business center?
Well, what's going to happen is over the next couple of years, it's just going to split the base, and we're going to end up with lefty tube and righty tube. YouTube's going to be the left wing kind of safe space, and then other media sites like BitChute and Gab and all them lot, they're going to be the right wing kind of safe space, and there'll be just no discourse.
The problem is, okay, let's say we want to have a moderate channel. Why should we have to choose between left and right?
Well, we shouldn't have to, but that's the way it's going because the righties will be kicked off of all the lefty sites, and they'll be happy because, generally speaking, righties, as we discussed before, generally speaking, righties enjoy discussion. They're open to discussion, but lefties aren't. So the righties have no choice because they won't be able to join the lefty discussion, and the lefties have no desire to join the righties. So the lefties won't come into the rights-dominated spaces. So it's not gonna, it won't happen, will it?
Nope.
What's up, media guy?
Hey there, how's it going?
And hello, NB Geek.
What's up?
NB Geek too.
Not much. We're just saying fuck you to YouTube. YouTube sucks.
Hey, I think I got you one extra subscriber though.
Cool.
Because you're up to 293. I threw it on my Facebook page and shot the link over and said we're trying to get you to 300.
Dude, 293. That's awesome.
Yes, it is awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, but I want to get him to 300 so he can do a party.
Yeah, man. I've noticed that the live stream views are going up as well. The live viewership is going up, which is great. It's creeping a little bit, but it is going in the right direction. So
yeah, I looked at his views for live streams, and yeah, he's doing very well in them.
Like this morning was a little discouraging, but that picked up later on. And good morning, just another red shirt, everyone. Let's see if I can.
Another red shirt.
If it'll let me post the link again, because God knows I should
just
have
tried.
the right to post my own link in my own live stream because
you're a very naughty boy.
Yeah, God forbid you be able to post your own links in your own stream on your own channel.
No, you don't deserve that.
YouTube, whatever you've done with the algorithm, you need to unfuck it. Like factory reset or some shit. I don't care. Go back to the last version and unfuck this shit because you're pissing off a lot of people.
We need YouTube version 1.0 from like 2007. That's what we need.
Nope, still can't share links. I can share links if I do it the right way. No, it can. I could say YouTube sucks, but I can't just share the damn link.
Yeah, ain't that funny? Let's see, just for shits and giggles, can I actually do a link?
I doubt it.
This time, doubt it. Oh, yeah. You know, hell, we'll just do youtube.com. Let's see. I'll bet you they still won't let me, even though I used to be able to do it on your channel.
Oh, yeah. They've since taken that right away.
Oh, you want to bet a refresh, and yep, it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, never saw it.
Maybe if you just preface every link with Trump is evil, they'll just greenlight it straight through.
Oh, yeah, it was so funny. The only link anybody could get through, we all could get through, was the Young Turks channel.
Why does that not surprise me? Young Turks are dead anyway.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't promote Captain Trek's channel or Anti-Trekkers, but I can promote the Young Turks. I can promote Chet from the Young Turks.
Yep.
Do you have any idea how much I despise that son of a bitch?
Of course you despise him. Of course.
I just tried the Trump is evil trick and it didn't work.
Ah, damn it.
And we've got Resolute Germ. This is a new record for us, Haberjam. You've actually been able to stay on for a while and have more people on the stream.
I'm waiting for the shit to drop any second.
Okay, it's happening now. But it was good while it lasted. It was fine till we got the fifth person in.
Seriously, his microphone's working as long as you only have 4 people in the chat?
Well, see,
I don't know.
it usually happens when it's over 3, but we got to 5 today.
I was going to say, he's rarely on, so if he wants to jump back in, I'll drop out and then we'll see if the microphone works.
Oh, that's fine.
NB, your link came
Oh,
through.
I managed to get that through.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, I managed to get that part through.
YouTube.com. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's just text in there. It's not an active link.
Nope.
Yeah, I know. That's what's probably going to screw. That's what screws with it. I'll bet you if I tried to do this, this won't work.
Oh, I just tried to give a link to BitChute and it wouldn't take it.
This
Trying to do what you did, just leave off the HTTP and such.
Yeah, but don't think that that's necessarily going to work. I might have just gotten lucky with that.
Half the time, YouTube flags the word BitChute.
And let me refresh. Yep. Yeah, nope, they let that one go, but nothing else. Jeez, YouTube, what the hell, man? What are you trying to do? Are you really trying to piss people off?
Yes, they don't care about anybody but the corporates.
Well, you might want to think about us little guys here because I'm pretty sure we're a big part of the YouTube community.
And just another red shirt.
Well, there's the old saying, you don't know what you have until it's gone, and that may be what's going to happen to YouTube here.
Hello.
Oh, it's bad enough it's bad enough they want to be like, oh, we're gonna put ads on your channel, but you're not gonna get any of the revenue because you haven't reached this point. Now it's like, oh, we're gonna moderate your moderators. Captain Trek.
Yep, they're gonna moderate us. All of it. Yeah.
Not the smartest move on their end.
No, it's not. But they don't care.
YouTube itself never really made
coincidental
money.
That it happened
they're just
after the
serving
certification of Joe Biden. Coincidence? I'm only paranoid if I'm wrong.
Let's see here who we've got backstage. Okay, live at the Love Shack. Hey, what's going on?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Love Shack.
Hey, Love Shack.
And we've
As usual, do
another crappy YouTube day because YouTube absolutely sucks ass.
That's not exactly accurate.
No,
you only need to add blackjack and hookers on this brew.
Well,
Can play some cards. Can always play cards.
Cards, okay. And good morning, Mr. CCDV. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, CCDV. Long time no see.
I bet somebody here I bet somebody here knows how to play Magic the Gathering.
Probably, but not in my area of expertise.
Interesting.
Never played Magic myself. I played Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. Never got into Magic.
Okay, let's play darts.
Well, let's see what YouTube will think of that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I say, fuck you, YouTube. And whether I have a channel tomorrow or not, I don't know. But hey.
Oh, you'll have a stream tomorrow if somebody else has to get you on to stream. If we have to do a little circumventing the system. You'll have a fucking stream tomorrow.
Was not you the one, Captain Trex? Was you the one saying you would do these things Monday to Sunday
Tuesday.
or
Tuesday to Sunday.
Yeah, you would be a day in the week. You would take some rest. It will not be a daily thing.
Well, I can't do it over Admiral. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, then it's a little bit hard to take some profits from it.
Okay, dude, you're just trying to get me.
What?
Sorry,
What?
I got this guy on Twitter. Who's I swear he's trying to get me to goad into an argument where I'm just like, okay, you don't like the Mandalorian. I get it. To each their own. And he's still trying to argue with me about shit. And I'm like, oh, I was like, hey, we're geeks. We have diversity. Oh, I thought geeks, dissected stuff more than normies, yada yada. I was like, yeah, you're talking about nitpicking. We used to do it out of love. I said a lot of it now is anger. Oh, who's anger? I'm like, you know what, dude? Fucking A, shut up. Like, stop trying to argue.
There's unfortunately a lot of them.
No, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. You didn't like how The Mandalorian went. I get it. There are people not happy because they know what's coming in the sequels. I get it. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just enjoying the moment.
Hear, hear.
And I'm embracing that moment.
Forget the sequels. They are officially erased.
Not yet, but
and I don't even get into conversations about that because I'm going to let Disney figure that shit out themselves. I just enjoyed the moment of it as one of the greatest geek outs I've gotten to see. Getting to see my childhood hero be the Jedi Master was pretty damn cool. So, yeah, I'm just going to enjoy it for what it was.
I got one thing to say to the folks who are saying The Mandalorian can't be any good because we already know where it's going in the sequels. And my response is, okay, if you had known somehow that in the future Disney was going to produce the disaster they did, when you saw Return of the Jedi, would you have said, this movie sucks because I know where this story's going to go? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't like those things because, okay, there's quite a few Alien movies, right? Guess what? I only watched 2 of them.
Right.
And that's it. There are a whole shit ton of Terminator movies. I only watched 2 of them. Just because somebody else made more content doesn't mean I have to be like, oh, well, this sucks. No. I'll still watch the end. Just because I knew Anakin Skywalker was going to become Darth Vader in Revenge Sith did not mean I wasn't on the edge of my seat being like, is there a way out of this? Can he get out of this? Can he maybe not go to the dark side? Yeah, I was thinking that. Yes, just because I knew it didn't change my anticipation of it.
Right.
Well, I didn't go in thinking, maybe it won't happen, but it was like, how is it going to happen? What are they going to do? Are they going to fuck it up and make it something else that happened rather than what actually happened in the movie? Make some sort of revision again. So, yeah.
Stop revisionists. Fuck. No revision, please. No revisionists.
We're not talking. Okay, look, it was still.
I like the things the way they are.
I look at it as simply, it was just a great moment in Star Wars lore. It was a great moment in a lot of ways, and I had to talk about it. I mean, that's why I spent 2 hours talking about it yesterday. When I said we've got to remember, there was another important moment in there, and yes, I know the whole thing with Luke returning kind of overshadows it, but Din Djarin takes off his helmet, and this is the first time Grogu has seen his face, and there was this little moment where Grogu just kind of touches him a little bit, and I was I was like, it was a very touching, very heartwarming moment, and you could really see this bond they had. And I mean, yeah, it's an actor and a fucking puppet, but you really felt the bond there between them. And it was really just beautifully done. The music, the score. I know certain people don't like the score from it. I know I think Neurotic, he doesn't really like the scores that have come out of it. Me personally, I absolutely love the scores because they have that sci-fi western feel that I grew up on westerns. I grew up on sci-fi, so when you can blend the two together, it's really harmonious if done right. And
Look,
I
that's
agree.
that's how I
scene,
felt about this
scene,
this series.
that scene between Jin Djarin and Grogu was basically American Sniper done right.
Yeah,
American
Mr. Lundell,
Snipers,
I
American
Mr.
Snipers
Lundell,
through the scene.
I understand what you mean by Revenge of the Sith on how he became Vader. I agree. I didn't go in thinking they were going to change it, but there was just something in my little 20-something-year-old brain being like, could it go differently? Knowing I knew it wouldn't happen, but still, it just for some reason was it was in the back of my head.
You wanted to hope that they would do it.
Right.
Yeah, knowing full well, of course, they couldn't, but still, it was in the back of my young mind. Still a great episode. And I think the end of The Mandalorian I think it's going to go down as probably one of the best in geekdom for a lot of reasons. And I don't just mean the Luke part. I mean, this built up over 16 episodes. This build up to this payoff we got, and a very short season of
It
16
could be longer.
episodes. But what
It
I'm
should be
saying
longer.
is, no, I actually think this was better because it kept it tight. We didn't get stuck with a bunch of BS 22, 23 episodes where we got stuff that makes no difference to the story. The 2 seasons was getting Baby Yoda to a Jedi. That was succeeded and done real well.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now they
And they
can
were
move on to
smart. They
something
didn't drag
different.
it out. They didn't drag it out another season. They ended it in a good way. That story arc, which now, of course, gives them an opportunity to do with, which they kind of, I think, kind of played into how the next story arc would go, which is going to be Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, going back to Mandalore. That seemed to be kind of the
Nope.
next subtle hint to it.
Well,
Nope.
they put up we actually saw in the intro that the next book is going to be the book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
their next
Yeah.
story.
That's
Next
not going to be
season's Boba
related
Fett.
to Mandalorian. That's going to be something separate.
No,
Yeah,
I think
I-
it's
I
I
will
think
be-
it's going to be the next season of the Mandalorian. I think this is one book, and
Yeah.
the next book the story they're going to tell is going to be Boba Fett's story.
And
I don't
then
think it's going to be a
maybe
new.
pick it up, and then maybe pick up the story I'm talking about a few
Yeah.
seasons later. That
Exactly.
is, oh yeah, as an anthology idea, that would make sense because this is bookended that part of the story. We know Filoni is not going to leave us hanging with the Darksaber, Gideon, and Din Djarin. So he's probably going to maybe do something a little different, a little bit later. They probably have got this stuff locked in contracts. I know Kitty Stockoff was on a Netflix show called, I think it's called Far Away, but I don't know if it got
Oh
picked back up.
God, no! Please don't remember. Don't remind me that. That's an awful show.
Oh,
I
I know
think
it was
that
an
got
awful
pulled.
show.
It has maybe one season or whatever they
Yeah,
originally
it was. Oh
contracted
God,
for.
it was terrible. It was bad. That was a bad
Yeah.
show. If it got canceled, I'm very happy to hear that. I'd rather see Katie Stackoff as Bo-Katan. But like I said, you might have the right idea. It might be a season. Maybe they just do one season of Boba Fett. I mean, that was kind of cool. And I actually did look it up because I was like, was that supposed to be Bib Fortuna? And I looked it up, and yeah, it was Bib Fortuna. And I was
Yep.
like, oh my God, I thought it was so funny.
That
And
was
then
fat
you
pig
got him and
fortune.
Fleck just kind of sitting on that throne room. I'm like, oh, I could get into this. A
Be
little
careful sitting
gangster
on that
Star Wars.
throne.
Yeah, I could get into some gangster Star Wars.
Be careful sitting on that throne. That makes you fat.
Money usually does.
Yeah, check George Lucas. He was a thin guy before Star
Yeah,
Wars.
you're right. Afterlife. That's what you're talking about. Afterlife. Yeah. I didn't like it. Oh, you liked it, UK? Hey, that's cool. I really didn't like it. I was not happy with that show. But hey, if it gets a second season, maybe it'll pick up.
Well, they've got 3 stories at least. I think they had 4. I can't remember the 4th off the top of my head. But they have Boba Fett that they've already announced they're doing next. They've got the Rangers of the New Republic. They can center a show on Cara Dune without any trouble at all. And they've got Bo-Katan to finish with. Well, that right there is, if they do 2 seasons per book, they got 6 years of television going right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Actually,
that would really work because Bo-Katan Din Djarin doesn't even have to be part of the Bo-Katan story arc. That could just be later.
Yeah.
And it just be her, The only thing that I couldn't figure out is why is it Sabine gave Bo-Katan the Darksaber and that was fine, but Din Djarin can't give Bo-Katan the freaking Darksaber. That was very did not fit canon right. There was something off there.
Well, they can go back and correct
responsible
that.
for both properties, so
they could spin it as that's why Bo-Katan was never able to take back Mandalore, because no one took her seriously because she's not the one who won the Darksaber.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be okay. That could actually be a very fair. See, and that's all you need. You just need a line of dialogue to answer it. It's like Captain Trek and I have talked a few times. We said, we don't need a deep, overarching explanation. Sometimes we just need a line of dialogue to answer a question. It can be as simple as a line or two.
Let's remember that Moff Gideon, with a sneer, I mean, he was really enjoying this bad news. Moff Gideon said, it has to be won in combat. Without that, she's a pretender to the throne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she looks at him and says, and hates saying it, obviously, it's dragged out of her, but she says, he's right.
Oh, good point. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
That might be why she was not able to hold leadership on Mandalore. Okay, that would make sense. That would add to the line of okay, I did not make that connection, but okay, now that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 2-word line. It goes by very quickly.
There. No, thanks, Red Shirt, because I missed the connection there. That does make complete sense.
And that's the perfect kind of democracy and monarchy we need.
What was interesting, I gotta admit, is watching Moff Gideon when he realizes there's a Jedi, and I gotta give that actor all the props in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He went from genuine excitement to literal terror in just a few facial recognitions, and I was like, God, this guy is such a good actor.
Yes.
He plays an antagonist so well.
Yep, he looked like his worst nightmare had just materialized in front of him while he was right in the center of the shot, and you watched him go from "I win" to "Oh shit."
And that actor, and I cannot pronounce his name. God, I thought he was so good.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, and I thought he was good in Breaking Bad. I mean, we all loved him in Breaking Bad, if you saw that. But this guy he just plays the antagonist so well. I'm not going to say villain. He plays an antagonist so well. And
he's on The Boys too.
What's that?
He's on The Boys too.
Yeah,
yes,
he's the
was
CEO.
in The Boys too. He made Homelander blink. He's not afraid of Homelander. That was so interesting. You're right. Yes. he's not even afraid of Homelander. That was so like this guy Homelander can't intimidate him, and that scares the hell out of him.
Give this man an Emmy already.
Oh yeah,
Best actor on
hands
screen.
down, this guy deserves an Emmy for his work. But yeah, him playing Moff Gideon, and I was talking with Jack Beers. We had said they can't kill him off now. I said this is just too good a villain to just kill off in the second season. It's like there's got to be more of him. And
he will come
I'm
back.
glad
He'll come back
still
for
alive.
Tron. Somehow he'll come back for Tron. We're gonna get Admiral Tron. We are gonna get Admiral Tron at some point.
That'll probably be in the Ahsoka spinoff. That would be most likely, but that doesn't mean Gideon can't come back for that.
Yeah, most likely they'll transfer him over to
that man
Ahsoka.
is just gold when he acts.
Yep.
Sorry, Cap.
Oh, what for?
I know a lot of the whole thing with the Mandalorian was the Luke Skywalker thing, but I kind of want to highlight some of the other really good things that happened in it. And like I said, when it comes to Juan Carlo Esposito, the guy just acts so great. It's just like when you see him show up on a show, you're just like, oh, we're gonna get something special. Somehow he just always seems to bring his A game when we see him.
Yeah.
And I figured, like I said, when I was talking to Richard, it went from, that's why I was attributing to his acting. He went from I've won to, as Redshirt said, it's like he just realized his worst nightmare is about to walk in the door. And he was able to change that expression so effectively in just a shot. It was just crazy how good it was. The reaction on his face, just the way it changed, is like you can see the fear in his eyes when he realizes there's a Jedi coming.
He goes from ha 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 to oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Yep.
He literally, you really bought into the fact that he acted like he was scared shitless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he did a much better job than Katie Sackhoff, because between everyone there, Bo-Katan and him are the only two that have ever probably seen a Jedi in action.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the only ones who really know what they can do. He expressed it perfectly. They had Sackhoff basically no-sell it.
I would say there was that truth there. She didn't seem to really sell that part there. I did appreciate the fact they didn't ask his name, because she knows who Anakin Skywalker is. That would have opened up a whole level of dialogue we didn't need, because it would have been irrelevant to the story that was playing out. But yeah, Esposito sold it. Katie Sackhoff, not so much in that moment. I will give you that. I would agree.
Because she has a dark saber in mind.
Yeah, there could be that.
Yeah, man, now I had to kill this guy. Shit.
Yeah, Katie Sackhoff, she played her in Clone Wars, she played her in Rebels, and now Mandalorian. So yeah, she has been playing that character off and on for a very long time.
And people
I
still
did get to
complain
watch
on
an
the internet.
interview. I did actually get to watch an interview, because after the episode where Katie Sackhoff shows up in the Bo-Katan uniform, or the Bo-Katan armor, when I first saw the armor, I thought, oh shit. I knew who the character was. I had forgotten her name off the top of my head, but I knew who it was. And I was like, oh my god, this armor looks very much like the armor from the Clone Wars and Rebels, and I was very impressed with it. And then she takes off the helmet, and it's Katie Stackoff, which makes sense because they modeled her character after her appearance. So all they had to do was cut the hair or put a red wig on, and pretty much she was going to be able to own the role. And I thought, man, what would it have been like for her to, have voiced this character so long, and then to actually get to see the armor up close. And I watched an interview where she had talked about it, and she said she started crying. And I was like, yeah, I probably would have too. I'd have cried like a little baby.
Yeah. It's like Benedict Cumberbatch dressing the Doctor Strange uniform for the first time. He look on the mirror and say, "Wow, I look pretty good." Yeah, and the dresser, the set designer, call him and say, "Yeah, I see that look before. It happens with Thor, Captain America."
Oops.
I didn't do it.
No, what happened? Must have bumped himself out. Yep.
UK, Bo-Katan is stoic. Her reaction to Luke was true to character. Okay. I can honestly say you may be right on that too. And also maybe she really just had the Darksaber in her mind or things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's luck.
And she
That's the
doesn't
great
like
thing
Jedi.
is we get to talk about it. Some people know characters better than other people do. I mean, I'll be the first one to say, Bo-Katan, while I know her character, I'm not as familiar with her as I am with, like, say, Rex.
Yeah. And from the last season of Clone Wars, what happened with Ahsoka, and then the stuff that happened in Rebels, she's probably at least wary of Jedi, if not outright distrustful.
Well, it's understandable why she trusts Ahsoka Tano, but I'm sure that trust has some conditions to it.
Oh yeah, she trusts
Ahsoka, but she has history with Ahsoka.
Yeah, Jedi as a whole, because in Rebels she didn't get along very well with Kanan or Ezra.
Well, that's because of what happened, The Purge was really bad on the Mandalorian. I mean, we are learning more about how bad the Empire treated Mandalore. More as the series.
They were second on the list, right behind the Jedi to get rid of.
Yeah. But like I said, they did it. They did it well. Now, if next season's going to be Boba Fett, I think that's going to be great. Like I said, I'm all for a kind of a little gangster style Star Wars. I think that would be a nice change of pace. What do you guys think?
It's not a gangster; it's a western.
Yeah, but when we're talking, Boba Fett and him being in the huts, dealing with huts, the huts are gangsters. This would kind of be a little maybe Western gangster kind of thing, or maybe go a little 1930s style gangster. The Chicago heydays.
I think it'd be better a little bit as a movie or a short series, like covering how he got out of Sarlacc pit up until the point he takes the throne. That'd be a little more interesting than basically taking over another show.
About the huts, there must be a bounty for Leia and Han Solo somewhere, and Luke too. Come on,
I've wanted to know more about Boba.
Fast.
Go ahead, old
about
guy.
Boba too.
Go ahead, please, old media guy. Or just another red shirt. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No.
No. I've wanted to know more.
Again.
I've wanted to know more about Boba Fett since Return of the Jedi, and was disappointed when he disappears down that mouth in the sand, and like, oh, I don't get to. So I don't have a problem with them doing a series on him. I think his origin story would be interesting. We saw a little of that, I think, in the prequels. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And in Clone
he's a
Wars.
clone. Yes. So we got a little bit of his origin, but what happened after the prequels when everything fell apart?
You saw
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit of him in the Clone Wars, but he was very young at the time still.
Okay.
Yeah, he is still like 13 or 14.
And I
Okay.
don't think he ever showed up in Rebels. I gotta admit, getting the guy who played Jango Fett and the clones to come back and play Boba Fett, just like he did the voiceover in the special editions, I gotta admit was pretty damn cool. And I love the interaction where he does the voice and they both look up, and she's like, "You are not a Mandalorian," and she starts banting him about the fact that he's a clone. And she's like, "I've
Hey,
heard your voice 1,000 times. Mine might be the last you hear." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this is." I was like, "Damn."
Uh-huh.
I was
hey.
like, that was some good interaction between those two.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
good part about that conversation is she said, "You are not a Mandalorian," and Boba responds, "I never said I was."
Right.
Yes,
So
I
problem
love that
solved.
fact.
Problem solved.
No, I would say he's probably the most interesting character that I haven't seen Clone Wars, but he's probably the most interesting character that we've been teased with. I am really psyched to see a series centering on him.
Yeah, I'd say it'd be a shorter series or a movie, just because the actor, he's mid-50s now,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think they'd be wanting him to do a whole lot of action stuff. So, I said, like, covering the 10 years from the Sarlacc pit to him taking the throne would probably be the best story and a little more doable as far as action goes.
Yeah, but
Well, I
they
have to
could.
milk that cow pretty quickly.
Yeah, they could put a stunt man inside his armor to do any action scenes they needed. And if he's willing to do that, where he gets to take the helmet off and emote when it's not when it's not an action scene. I don't know. I think they
It
can
would
probably do 2 years with him, as they've done with the Mandalorian.
it would be funny if they get Ray Park to be in the suit for the stunt scenes.
Mm.
I think Ray Park is a little small for it.
Or what?
You can
For
fix that
Boba
in
Fett?
post production. You can fix that in post production. That's not a problem. He
Because Ray
plays Darth
Park's only
Maul.
like 5'8"
Wait a minute. What's Ray Park too small for?
to be the stunt guy for Boba Fett. Because he's only like 5'8", isn't he?
Oh my God! You can play with stilts. What a problem.
I can't see Ray Park being the right choice as the stuntman for Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's not known for doing many acrobatics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Ray Park is. I mean, he was frickin' Darth Maul, for God's sakes.
Well, if Samuel Johnson can do the action scenes, call Ray. He's right there.
And hello, Elihu. What's
Finally,
going on?
Elihu. I like this. If Tom Cruise can jump across rooftops at 56, Morrison can get into shape. Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, he can jump across. He can't do it without breaking his ankle.
Oh, really? You think you can do that jump? Because I sure as hell can't. And I don't look. I'm 15
Oh, come
years.
on, the
I'm
man's
14
58.
years younger than him, and trust me, I'm in way worse shape than he is.
No, he literally broke his ankle and fractured his the upper bone in his leg when he did that stunt. He set the movie back 5 weeks.
Well,
That's why actors don't do stunts normally. Cause
yeah,
no.
guys, please don't try to be Jackie Chan.
Even Jackie Chan is even taken a limit on doing his own stunts.
Yeah, he has.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, now, yeah.
I mean,
He's
at
up
his
there with
age,
Tom
can you
Cruise
blame
in
him?
age.
Well, Jackie Chan also did himself a number of injuries doing his own stunts and set his own movies back a while when he was recovering from them.
Yep.
Yeah, even when he was younger.
I like what Elihu says. Morrison rocks the dad, but hey, you know what? Not everybody's gonna stay in shape, and let's be honest, Tatooine ain't exactly known for its nice conditions.
Oh, it's dry, has a lot of sand.
Well, look how bad it's aged. It aged Obi-Wan. Look how it aged Brew and Owen. It's not exactly good on the human condition.
It's a desert. What do you expected?
I expect it to be full of sand. That's why my ass doesn't live there. See, I subscribe to I live where the food is. Yes, I'm pulling from a Sam Kinison skit.
I was going to say.
You know, I went on one of these World Hunger things, and I actually saw the fucking problem here. We got out there. It's like, hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, we just drove 6 hours out here, and you wouldn't be hungry if you moved to where the food is. Do you see this? It's sand. Do you know what it's going to be in 100 years? Fucking sand!
Nothing
that's where I
grows
was
in
going with
sand. Yes.
Well,
and that was that was one of
some
his.
Israelis would disagree with that.
That was first time I heard that was when he was doing on HBO Rodney Dangerfield's sketch. Remember those, Red Shirt?
Yeah.
Oh God, those were so good.
Yeah. Well, Dangerfield got him and a lot of other comics started.
Yes, he did.
He mentored them.
Oh, they loved him. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
how could you not?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, his HBO special, he was able to get these upcoming comedians and let them be unfiltered. I mean, it was HBO; it was getting them unfiltered, so they could really let loose. And someone like Sam Kinison, that's the kind of guy you don't want PG related. It's like trying to do. That's like trying to watch a Richard Pryor comedy with the censor button on.
Right.
You might as well not even bother watching because all you can hear is beep, 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 beep,
yeah, exactly.
beep, beep.
See, at least I found Richard Pryor funny. I didn't find Sam Kinison funny.
Sam Kinison is a flavor that is not everybody's taste. I will agree with that.
Yeah. His routine that you just mentioned is the only one I laugh hard at. The rest of them I found moments. But that routine cracked me up.
I think that really was that was his best routine. I mean, was he George Carlin level? No. Well, I'm going to be honest. No. George Carlin was, one of those. He was like Richard Pryor. He was just in a league of his own.
Oh, yeah.
But they were the kind of people I grew up on when it came to that kind of comedy. So, when people are like, they all this offended culture, they're like, oh, you shouldn't make fun of this. You shouldn't make fun. I'm like, are you kidding me? Some of the best jokes I ever heard were made fun at me. You know why we laughed? Because we knew they were fucking true.
Right. There was an element of truth to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with what he said. I didn't find it funny because it just, okay, yeah. Sand is going to be sand. So what? You're not really saying anything I don't know.
Well,
like I said,
I may know some Jews in Israel that may disagree with that. They are pretty good in turning desert into something useful. The problem is not the place. The problem is they don't have smart people working on the land.
I don't know about that. I don't know of anything that grows in sand.
Check Google Maps and look around. Israel is green. Everything around is brown.
That's because they have one of the
Abraham
most
UK. See no evil, hear no evil. Wilder and
Hold on.
Pryor.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Resolute. Go for it.
I was just telling him Israel is green because it has the most advanced irrigation system in the world.
Yep.
Yep.
Bring the
You're not
water.
exactly going to be able to
And
get
things will
that
grow.
in the middle of the Sahara.
No.
I'm going to agree
I
with
believe-
Abraham here, UK, where it was see no evil, hear
If
no
you
evil.
build,
Wilder and
people will
Pryor.
come.
Pure comedy genius. Yeah, and there was another movie, and I wish I could remember the name of it. I got to look it up. It was Wilder and Richard Pryor in it too, where Richard Pryor is like, when he first meets it, he goes, who are you? I'm a thief. I cannot remember the name of that movie, but it was another fun one. Wilder and Pryor really could put the comedy gold together.
They could. Have you ever heard Richard Pryor talking about the making of the one Hard Time? I think it was where they go to prison. They actually went to as part of their introduction, part of their familiarization with the roles they were going to play. They took them to a prison, I think in Arizona, and Richard Pryor on his stand-up talking about it says, "Well, I already know that every brother that's in this place is there for the wrong reasons because they ain't no black people in Arizona. So they're going to go and meet a whole bunch of lifers. And he is convinced these guys are all wrongfully imprisoned. So they come in this room and Gene goes out and starts mingling. And because he was, Gene could make friends with anybody, anywhere. And Richard Pryor comes up to this one guy and says, well, why are you here? He says, because I killed everybody in my family but one person. And Richard says, well, why didn't you kill him? He says, because he wasn't home. And Pryor's eyes get real wide, and he said, and that was the moment when I realized that there's a reason we put people in places like this. Gene, we got to get out of here. That's not even doing it justice. It was hysterical, and it was from real life. He was telling a story about himself, and when he realized this guy would have killed everybody in his family if they'd been home all at the same time. Holy crap! I want out of here.
I forgot all about that skit, but I do remember that. Why didn't you kill the other? Oh, he wasn't home. And that's when I was like, we got to get the fuck out of Gene.
Yes.
Oh my God! Yes. If you guys have not seen that skit, we are not going to do it justice. You got to hear Richard Pryor do it.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah. That and
Silver
him.
Streak was the movie you were thinking about. Thank you, Mr. Lawndale. Yes, Silver Streak.
Oh yeah, this is the first one.
I love the ending of that movie where they're in the mall, and there goes Richard Pryor stealing a car in the mall.
In the mall.
Like,
yes.
I was just like, oh my God, this is so funny. He goes, what are you doing? I'm a thief. I saw how you handled old Oliver back there. I was listening. Oh my God. Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder were just dynamite for the roles they did together.
Yeah. I became a Richard Pryor fan watching Silver Streak when they first meet, and he's got a disguise Gene, and he goes to this. They come up to this bum, and he goes, How much for the jacket? $5. Pay the man. How much for your pants? $20. Pay the man. How much for your hat? $1. Pay the man. Gene's pulling his wallet out and handing this guy money. And Richard Pryor's just, the one line, it's delivered absolutely flat every time. Pay the man. Yeah. Oh, they were amazing together.
Oh my God, yes.
They wanted Richard.
Now I got tears in my eyes laughing so hard thinking about that.
Richard Pryor wrote most of Sheriff Bart's lines in Blazing Saddles, and Mel Brooks wanted him to play Bart. And they didn't do it because he didn't think Richard Pryor was already too edgy to have played Sheriff Bart in Blazing Saddles, so they got Cleavon Little to do the role. But he wrote most of Bart's lines.
I can believe it. I
Yeah.
could believe it now thinking about it. Oh God, Blazing Saddles. We all know the movie that would never get made today.
No, I own it on DVD because
Oh,
you can't even watch it today.
It can be made
Oh,
tomorrow.
I've got it on DVD too. I'm like, there are certain movies I got to make sure I got physical media.
You know the funniest thing? They've censored the N-word. They even censored Stupp in one and became Lily von Shh. But they didn't censor Mel Brooks as the Indian chief when the sheriff is telling the story of how he came out west, and Mel Brooks goes, "Laws again." That's the Gesehen deiner Leden? Schwarzes. Woof, they're talking at us. And I'm like, did you guys knew that Stupp was a bad word, but you didn't know that Schwarzes was? Come on. They censored the N-word in English, but they missed it in Yiddish. Oh, my God. God love the censors. They're idiots. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had to explain to my wife, who hated Blazing Saddles because she thought it was a racist movie. I said, wait a minute. Have you ever stopped to consider that the dumber the character, the more racist they are? And the smarter the character, the less racist they are. Maybe it says something about a correlation between racism and intelligence. She went, I never thought of that. We watched it again. She laughed her ass off.
I mean, come on. The whole point where he's like coming in as the sheriff and then he pulls the gun out and, and it's like, everybody's like, is anybody going to help that? Oh, no, man. I think they'll do it. He's crazy. I'm so good. That's so dumb.
Yes.
One
other point.
Comedy gold right there. Just the look of expression on everybody's face.
Yep.
It's just so funny.
And you know the reaction when Gene says to him, "What did you expect? These are farmers, people of the land, modern clay of the New West." And then that was it.
Yeah.
That was what was written in the script. And Cleavon Little is just, haggard and staring ahead, fixed stare. And then Gene Wilder ad-libbed the last bit, and he said, morons. And Cleavon Little cracked up. That was genuine because he wasn't expecting that line.
How did you know I wanted you to come up, Mr. Lundell? You just must have been reading my mind.
Well, I had to doing laundry, and it makes a lot of racket. So I had to wait till that was done before I jumped in.
I mean, I was literally thinking of you at the time I posted the link. I thought, okay, and I was waiting for somebody to pause, and I was going to say, hey, Mr. Lundell, you can come on up anytime you want. And you were in the back room.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Lundell, thank you very much for reminding me of the name of the movie, Silver Streak. That was my first movie where I saw Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor together. That was the first one I ever saw. See No Evil, Hear No Evil was the next one.
I think Silver Streak was the first movie they did together, I believe. And then they did that series of movies.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. See No Evil, and I think there was one. I think they did like 4 movies total.
Silver Streak was their first.
Yeah.
Okay. I must have just got lucky and watched it in the right order because I watched it on VHS. My grandmother had an appreciation for comedy.
Oh yeah.
But I honestly grabbed the movie because I had seen. I'm not gonna lie. I grabbed it because there was Gene Wilder and I had seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, so I'm thinking it might be something like that. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Mhm. But back to you were saying, that's the common thing everybody says you couldn't make Blazing Saddles today. Just
Oh,
stop and
that's
think
bullshit.
how many Mel Brooks movies you can't make today. Not just Blazing Saddles, but I mean the producers. You couldn't make that movie.
They don't make it because they are a bunch of pussies.
Oh, I doubt you could make History of the World again.
Oh no,
No,
never.
You can.
No, they won't
They
let
just
you.
don't do it because they lack the balls for it.
Yeah.
I have these
No,
15 crap shit.
if you did that,
10 commandments.
if you did that movie, okay, every little pasty faced white SJW would be out in the streets breaking windows. I mean,
Wow,
because
Gina Carano
they're supposed to
and
be so educated, okay, they don't understand parody.
No,
Gina
They don't,
Carano and Rosario Dawson already gave the clue. Don't give a fuck for them.
yeah, that's. I've been saying that for years. Ignore them; they'll get bored, and maybe they'll go
Yeah,
find a job. That's
yeah.
as long as you count out to these people, they're gonna be there.
I wouldn't be so certain about them finding a job. They have no life skills.
Yeah, but
Well,
there is one effective.
Kennedy cares about whatever people say about Star Wars. No, they don't care. Don't listen to these people. Just do your job and get your paycheck.
except
Make some profits.
except that people like Kathleen Kennedy pay their paycheck. So, yeah, they gotta make them.
The kind of people who would throw a fit about Mel Brooks movies like they're doing now are people who they don't understand the concept of the humor he put out there. He made fun of everybody.
Yeah.
And he did it elegantly well. He managed to make it funny. We laughed. And yes, you can rewatch episodes later of different parodies of stuff, and you're like, oh man, that was such a white person joke, but you know what? It's totally true.
Well, only Mel Brooks could have turned the Nazis and the Inquisition into musicals.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, the moment you take your enemies too serious is the moment you start to lose.
I would tend to agree about not being too serious. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of Star Wars fans hate Spaceballs because they think
Oh,
Mel
that's
Brooks.
bullshit. Spaceballs is awesome.
Yeah, they think Mel
Spaceballs the
Brooks
best
hates.
prequel movie.
Well, they think he hated Star Wars. They're missing the point.
No, he loves Star Wars.
He was commenting on how everything is commercialized and marketed. Like Spaceballs, the lunchbox. And things like that. And you had that with Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Toy lines, T-shirts. All of that. And that's what he was poking fun at, because you looked at everything in that movie had a sequel to it.
Yeah.
And a toy associated with it.
Not just.
And still waiting for my Captain Kirk action figure.
Everything. Not just yogurt, the stuff yogurt was doing, but even the stuff, Dark Helmet was doing. That was, he had his lines of toys and whatever, and that's what he was mainly poking fun at. Not so much. He may have disliked the Star Wars movies, but he was focusing on the consumerism part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still waiting for my Captain Track action figure.
You're gonna be waiting forever. That ain't gonna happen.
That's not exactly in
No.
Teespring's library of products yet.
Thank God.
We can find a way. Get the Danny DeVito figure from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Put Star Trek uniform in it, and there you get it. That's your Captain Trek action figure.
I'm
Okay,
pretty sure Captain Trek looks a little bit better than Danny DeVito. I'm pretty sure a bear with a shotgun wound to his face looks a little bit better than Danny DeVito. He is one ugly man. Have you seen him recently?
You mean he's gotten worse?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
They're doing a hell of a job to pretty him up for the Always Sunny.
Well, know that those Chinese manufacturers always make the doll wrong.
Not bad weather today. Not bad weather.
Well, that's good to hear, NB.
Although I do think I'm going to have to grab a jacket. But, so be it. It's nicer I get better lighting out here than I do in my house. I don't know what it is, but my artificial lighting is just terrible with this camera.
Go back to incandescent bulbs.
Oh, it's better than yesterday.
Yeah. I think the incandescents work better with all this HD crap we're fiddling with now.
That's a possibility. Ugh. Spaceballs. God, I love that movie. I think that was actually the first Mel Brooks movie I ever actually saw. Pretty sure it was. I'm fairly confident the second was Blazing Saddles.
Young Frankenstein?
No, actually, I did not see Young Frankenstein up until this year. That was one of the ones that in History of the World I had not seen yet. So I watched those this year. We were having a Mel Brooks panel a while back, and I had said, I'm like, shit, there's quite a few I haven't seen, and I hadn't seen History of the World Part 1. I hadn't seen Young Frankenstein, and man, I was like, shit, I've been missing out.
Oh yeah.
You should start with the producers and work your way forward.
I did see
The original producers,
but it's been so long ago, I'd have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I mean that one. The original with Zero Mostel.
Yes.
Because I mean there were. I saw it as a kid, but then once I saw it when I grew up, okay, I forgot about like all the gay jokes in that movie. Okay. He kind of really rips into gays in that movie. So you couldn't make that movie today.
No.
And that's the sad part, because it is, if you think about it, the scheme they had, find a really, really bad play, turn it into a musical, and get rich off of it because it only runs one night.
And sell 10,000% of it.
And come to find out, because they hired the right actor to do the part of Hitler, it would become a hit.
Actually, they hired the wrong director. They get the wrong play, the wrong director, the wrong theater, the wrong actors. Damn it! Why did it get right?
No, actually, it was the right everything to hire if you want to make money on it. If you wanted to actually have a hit play.
Well, it was the audience finally decided it was a joke, and they started laughing. And that's what doomed the two producers. That they produced an unintentional comedy.
That was perfect.
Oh yeah.
What's wrong with that?
A hell of a scheme to pull today. No way they
let's be honest,
misinterpreted it as a comedy.
Well, you got to remember, Mel Brooks is one of a very elite group of people who's won an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Tony.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's won all three. Yeah.
He won?
He's one of the few people who's won all three. Been awarded all three of them. He has an Oscar, he has an Emmy, and he has a Tony.
He won an Oscar for what?
You got Google, you look it up.
Okay. You got me.
Hey, just another nerd.
Yeah.
All right, lads. What's the crack with NI?
So what's been going on?
Now you got me thinking. I think I am going to watch Silver Streak today. I got to figure one of these streaming services has it. If not, I'll maybe go sail the high seas if I have to.
I think you should watch See No Evil, Hear No Evil, because there's quite an attractive lady in it.
So, Mr. what movie reviews you got coming up? You got any movie reviews, streams coming up?
Yeah. What is the name? I can't think of the name of it. I'll set these movies up like a week ahead of time, and so it's Heat Wave. Is that it? Is that today's movie? I'm checking. It is Hot Spell. It's today's groovy movie.
I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's kind of a noir B movie, solely drama. So no bad sci-fi today.
No.
I did
Not bad sci-fi.
I did premiere an early version of 1984 yesterday. I don't know how many people have seen it yet.
There's always got to be somebody who wants to start shit with me. I'm just not in the mood anymore.
Huh.
Something wrong with me. I'm just not in the mood to deal with idiots. Oh,
you can rent Silver Streak here on YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool.
It should be like a couple bucks.
Okay, cool, easy enough.
Let me check.
Definitely.
Okay, here I have the list
That'd be a blast for the past for me.
Awards. And sorry, he didn't win a BAFTA. He was just nominated.
No, he
didn't. At least according. Sorry, Blazing Saddles didn't win a BAFTA. It was just nominated. He won an Oscar for The Producers in 1969. He won.
Okay, you can
won an Emmy for Mad About You as outstanding guest actor in a comedy series. He never won a Golden Globe.
I didn't say a Golden Globe.
He won 2 Screen Actors Guild awards, for one for the producers and the other for Blazing Saddles?
I said he won an Emmy. I said he won it. Oh, sorry. He's won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Okay, let's check the Grammy. Grammy. No.
Mel Brooks, Academy Awards, screenplay,
I'm looking
producer.
for that. I have the complete list. The post. Oh, okay, Grammy. Okay. Actually, he won
3.
2 Grammys. 3.
Yeah.
3 Grammys.
Okay, 3
3
Grammys.
Tonys.
Taking the Tonys.
His Emmys, he got 3 for Mad About You.
His BAFTA award was what? Academy Fellowship? What's that?
I don't know. I was going off the big ones, and I had forgotten about the Grammy part. I had forgotten he actually had the Grammy too.
Okay, you originally said the Oscar, the Emmy, and the BAFTA.
No. I was talking Emmy, Oscar, Tony, and then Grammy.
Tony,
yeah, he's one of the few who's gotten the big 4. Those are the big 4 in America.
Okay, he won 3 Tonys for the producers, but that was the 2001. The 2001 is crap.
You got to remember that was a movie first. They didn't do the stage show till like way years later.
Yeah, sure. 2001. That's when he got the Tony for it. So right around that time.
Okay. What is a Drama Desk Awards? What the fuck is a Drama League Awards? I never heard about that.
I don't know. I don't fucking watch I haven't watched an award show in forever because they don't mean shit anymore.
Yeah. No. They never meant
squat. You won a Laurence Olivier Award.
No, there was a time when watching the Oscars, the Emmys, the Grammys and stuff actually meant something. You know, it actually was an achievement. We actually liked the people who are receiving the awards for movies. We really thought. Now it's just every Tom, Dick, and Harry, whatever. Oh, we didn't have this much diversity, so now we got to make sure we have this much diversity. It's like, it became a fucking political game. It's like, and of course now everything is their platform to bitch about people like me and Lundell and other people like that. And it's kind of like,
I disagree. No. It's not about. It's not just about people like you. It's just people. It's about people like us. Okay.
You're not specifically against people like me, and more so against people like Lundell.
Yeah.
He's the one who gets it worse than I will.
The only difference is I can tell them to fuck off. And they have to actually fuck off.
I have no problem doing that too.
Oh, I'll tell them to fuck off, but thankfully where I live, it hasn't been much of a problem.
Yeah, same here.
South Carolina, we're pretty good with each other. Everybody gets along.
Yeah, but
that case suggest we start to do it fuck off awards.
But that's something you're going to have to be leery about. I'm thinking because I mean there's this mass exodus from California to Texas now.
Look what they did to Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't trust me. I'm more than leery about what's going on down. They're flipping Georgia blue, and they've been doing it since the 1830s because Atlanta's been under a Democrat since 1835. So it was not surprising that it's going to happen. Is it going to happen here in South Carolina? God, I hope not.
The flip was a fraud.
Well, unfortunately, it's very easy to get people from blue states to move to red states and still convince them that they should vote for the same shit that they didn't want and why they left, because they're still conditioned to hate conservative values and ideas. It's very hard to get people like us to move to blue states, because why on God's green earth would we want to do that?
Yeah. Move to L.A. You're going to step over homeless people to get to work or to go to the store, and
You can
they
move.
are
You
it's
can
like they
move.
are cool with it. Okay, because it is it doesn't make any sense that the liberal enlightened morons would be cool with someone not being able to afford somewhere to live because of whatever. Because all they'll do is just move to Texas and screw it up, and then they'll just move somewhere else and screw it up.
Yeah, but the problem
Well,
is, think about this,
we
Mr.
can move
Lundell.
from
They
red
don't
to blue
just
state.
move to these places. What do? They don't move from the city to the rural areas. They move from one major city to another major city and never learn that there is life outside of the major metropolitan city. And we're the kind of people who don't want to be bothered. We want to be left alone. We
Yeah,
want our space. We want our breathing room. We want our diversity. We actually want this shit. We don't want you telling us how to live. We're like, okay, you go live how you want. Let me live how I want. Let's make sure we have reasonable taxes, regulations, reasonable laws, a good system of government, and we'll get along just fine. No, that's not good enough.
I know. Well, there's always Mars to colonize. So
They'll just follow us to Mars.
Yeah, but
no,
thankfully it
Once
take them
it's
a while
nice
to get
and
there.
safe and luxurious to get there, they'll come at mass and say, "We're oppressed. Give us your shit."
Well, you can get to Mars when we reach Star Trek levels of technology.
You know, Elihu, Gavin Newsom's a POS of a governor. He's like him and Cuomo, I think, could, and what's that lady's name from, was it Wisconsin? Those three
Whitman.
could,
Whitmer.
yes, Whitmer. Those three could go down as three of the most disgusting governors of 2020. I think you could run anyway between those three governors, although I'd probably give it to Whitmore.
Don't overlook Jay Inslee. He's been a real piece of shit up here.
Yeah. Coming up fast on the outside, Governor Jay Inslee.
Okay, everybody, let's monitor exactly what happens in California when it comes to Tesla and Oracle moving jobs.
But Tesla's already announced they're moving out of California in the next 5 years.
I know.
And Gavin Newsom saying, no, they're not. It's like, yeah, sure, buddy.
Yeah. All they got to do is close down the plant and move. And there's not jack squat he can do about it.
Well, let's not forget, we are talking about an area where they reelected AOC after she bragged about ensuring Amazon wouldn't come in and costing thousands of jobs. And that was hailed as strong and great and everything because she was like, oh, you can't guarantee these are going to go to New Yorkers? No, how about this, bitch? How about they go to the most qualified people who apply for the job?
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid.
Which she knew none of her constituents were.
Yep. Oh, she didn't care. She said, well, let's put it this way. Let me see. You want to talk about LA? Let's see. Gas price in January was $3.42. Gas price here for me, $1.82. Pay $1.82 a gallon right now. My tank was dry in my big ass Chevy Silverado, 22 gallons. Filled it up. It was $42.
Yeah.
I had put 45 on, but I overestimated.
But fracking is oh so bad.
Yeah.
Fracking bad. Offshore drilling bad. Why? We have awesome safety regulations. Oh, they're greedy people. They want to poison it. So you think they want to poison their profits by looking bad, which hurts the bottom line? Well, they're evil. I'm like, okay. This is not a fucking HBO special.
I will say this: there have been fracking practices that were bad because not all safety measures were taken. That does not mean all of them are bad because some follow safety regulations. I I think that should be said for everything. If you follow safety regulations, you're going to be good. They have regulations for a reason.
Well, see, but the problem with most of these clowns, even those regulations aren't enough.
True.
You're not supposed to frack. You're not supposed to drill for oil and natural gas. You may disturb the breeding ground of a fucking worm. The worm is more important than you are in their mindset. That's
Oh, I'm
what we're
waiting on my
dealing with.
order of yeah, I need to call in my order for spotted owl.
You mean spotted owl egg?
No. I mean spotted owl. Get it all nice and cooked, suckling, juicy,
Yeah.
with some baby seal eyes for dipping sauce.
Never tried to spot it out. Emu, now, on the other hand, great meat.
Emu?
Yeah.
Well, I've never tried it.
I haven't either. I've seen ostrich, and that looks more red than beef does. It's almost purple.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost purple. It looks like venison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like venison.
I do too.
That's the good thing of emu is the same way. It's red meat. And
nice.
the cholesterol and everything is a lot lower than it is in beef.
Really?
Yeah. So it's supposed to be better for you. I never really understood what. Well, the thing with the emu farms. To me, they really messed that up. Convincing people that you're going to sell to these high-end restaurants.
Dude.
No, you sell it to Kroger, emu, the cheap beef. Okay,
right.
That's how you get it in supermarkets.
Yeah, exactly.
There aren't that many high-end restaurants. Okay. I don't know where people get this from. You just sell it to rich people. They're not that many. They're more middle class people than they are rich. That's your target market. The middle class, like me, middle class guy. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna want to. That would make more sense. Like, oh, we're gonna sell this to rich. There ain't that many rich people in this world that you think that are gonna buy that, but you sell it as an alternative. People are gonna buy. That's $1 less a pound. I'll buy one package, give it a shot, see how it is. I mean, because I think Mr. Lundell and me, probably, and some of us have all seen that we've gotten that, we've tested out that one thing that's a little cheaper. We bought one sample, we tried it out, we made sure we also had Domino's Pizza on standby just in case this all went to hell.
Got it on speed dial.
No, actually, I got 4 frozen pizzas in the freezer right now. That's the emergency.
Okay, well now,
backup.
but I mean back then, what we were thinking. It's like I got the pizza number on speed dial just in case. What's the pizza number? What's the pizza speed dial? It's number 1 on the speed dial, right above number 2, which is mom. Number 2 was mom. Number 1, pizza delivery. Oh, come on! I wasn't the only one.
Well, who are you going to be calling more often, really?
The pizza guy than my mom at that time, because my mom was long distance, and you had to pay for long distance back then per minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, and if they delivered, you had the beer store.
Yes.
On speed dial as well.
So. Yeah, I'd like to place an order for pickup. Okay, yeah, I'll be at the drive-thru in 15 minutes. Yes, I've lived in places where you had drive-thru liquor stores. You call them, you could actually call ahead, have your order ready, and they'll have it ready for you when you get there.
Yep.
Oh, the good old days. Life was so much simpler.
There are drive-through liquor stores within 15 miles of where I live right now. There's one.
Yeah, they're still there, but they're few and far between these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
They are
state
few and far.
police sort of killed that around here. They popped up, got pretty popular, and then the cops would park right at the other end of the parking lot and just wait for people to come out and say, random check.
Looking for open containers?
Yeah.
I remember, oh man, I tell you what, I thought the greatest thing to happen to bars was vaping, because when they took out smoking in the bar, man, most bars I knew lost 99% of their customer base.
Yeah.
Because we all smoked. And it's like, oh, I got to go outside to smoke, but I can't take my drink. Fuck that. I'll just drink at my friend's house and smoke there.
Trust me, I was a smoker, and when I'm drinking, I mean, you're smoke
smoking
more. I would go through a pack. Excuse me. I would go through a pack at a bar, before I knew it. And
yeah, but hey, remember, we had the dispenser right there.
Yeah.
What was it, $5 in the dispenser? Yeah, I need change. I need change for 20. I got to get some smokes. Yeah, shit. Here's some cool menthol, baby. Yeah. I need a beer.
The bartender would happily light your cigarette.
Yes.
Because they knew you were going to buy some more liquor.
Yeah. Buying the cigarettes out of the dispensary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was overpriced, but what were you going to do? Go to the gas station? Nope. Go to the gas station 2 blocks down the road? Nah, you just pay the $5. Smoke a few cigarettes. You go buy a pack on the way home while you grab a 6-pack on the way home.
And so, fracking causes earthquakes? I thought earthquakes.
I think farting causes earthquakes at this point.
I thought earthquakes caused earthquakes.
I thought the shift in tectonic plates caused earthquakes.
Yeah, that's the main theory. Yeah.
There is 1 or 2 instances of subterranean collapse from improper fracking. That's where all that BS comes from.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so.
Well, I lived most of my life next to the New Mandarin fault line, so either I had to deal with the possibility of an earthquake, tornadoes, or I lived in an area where hurricanes were common. Quite frankly, I've been through all of them, so bring it, bitches. My mom, it'll be like a hurricane. My mom's been in Florida 30 years. Hey, Mom, it's a hurricane. It's not going to hit above a Category 2. We're fine. Hey, Mom, you got a Category 5? Yeah, we got the cats in. We'll be okay. Hey, what happened, Mom? Fucking tree fell on the roof. What are you going to do? Landlord will be out with the insurance guy in the next day. Everything okay? Yeah, we got a hotel. This is how my mom is. She's been through, God knows, just about every massive hurricane that's hit Florida in the last 30 years, and she's just like, I don't give a shit. I mean, she lives in Jacksonville, Florida, for fuck's sake. And I'll tell you what, if it ain't a Category 3, if it ain't a Category 3, as far as she's concerned, she's going back to work. It's like when I lived in Illinois. If there was a tornado warning, it's like, it's an F2. Fuck, I gotta go to work then. Sorry. Only time they closed down work was for an F3 or above.
Yeah, I suppose every place has their little weather things that they don't pay attention to.
No.
Like here, partial flooding across the entire.
Okay, for example, back in my hometown, back in home in the St. Louis, Illinois area, couple inches of snow, nobody gave a shit about. If there's down here in South Carolina, if there's even a chance there's going to be snow, they shut everything down ahead of time. It's all shut down ahead of time. Schools are already closed. They might even end school early if they decide to. Daycares are closed. Most things, government, anything that they can, they shut down. And But they also don't have we also don't have the infrastructure down here to deal with it, like say Illinois, New York, places like that have. We don't have the salt trucks in place and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other one is, and I see it here in Texas, and I lived in Massachusetts for 35 years, and my house was on a ridge, so I had a steep driveway. And I slid all the way down my driveway once when we had when it started as freezing rain, and then it snowed on top of that. And I got out with a bucket of salt and sand, and I'm going to start throwing this. I hit the steep part of my driveway. My ass hit the ground, and I was 3/4 of the way to the street before I slid off the side of the driveway.
From Plumber, huh?
But that's what they get. Yeah, that's what they get down here. Is it starts as rain. It goes to sleet, then it starts to snow. So it seems like every single time it snows, it's got a layer of ice underneath. And I'm sorry, if you don't have studded rally tires on your car, you're going nowhere on ice.
No.
And that's part of the reason they shut it down. That's the other reason they shut it down. One, they don't have plow trucks and salt trucks. But the other one is they almost never get a storm that starts out cold enough to produce dry snow that they can just plow off to the side and you can ignore, like New England and the upper Midwest do.
Right.
And also, most of the people down here, now I'm one of the few exceptions, don't have chains for their tires. But most people down here wouldn't have a reason to. Why do I have them? Because I lived in places where I needed them. So I've just kept the chains with me. You know, in case I, like, for example, if I'm driving through... like if I was going back home to say Indiana to see family, I'd have to go through North Carolina and Tennessee, which means I'm going through the mountains. So I have chains on, and I know how to put my chains on. So, which is good because those little bastards on the side of the road charge you $20-$30 to put them on. They'll fucking rip your ass off. They're like, "Oh, you need help with this?" I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." I'm like, "I know how to lay this. Like, let me see, lay this out." Roll the tires over, have my girlfriend roll the tire over, boom, slap, I'm good. Check it, yeah, you're good, thanks, yeah. No, you're not getting my $20, motherfucker.
Oh, man, I haven't had
Here's the market.
There's a little picture on the back of the package that you buy it in. Tells you how to do it.
Yes,
and
it
he's
does.
too stupid to look at a picture and follow that direction.
They're not even that difficult. You just lay them out, drive over just a little bit, get about halfway, latch them on, clip them together, you're done. It's a 5-minute job. If you don't know what you're doing, it's 5 minutes. That's it. It's not that difficult. It's a very simple thing. They don't make it hard. Well, but I mean, one of the reasons I lived in California, but I used to go to Reno a lot, and I have to go through Donner's Pass. And Donner's Pass is pretty damn high.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'd have to have. I mean, most of the time I didn't have to have my chains on because I had an F-250 at the time, so I had 4-wheel drive. But I still had the chains just in case.
Yeah.
But more often than not, if you have 4-wheel drive, they're like, "Oh, you're good."
Yeah, but down here in Texas, the 4-wheel drive just gets you deeper in trouble further from the road.
Only accident I ever was in was going over a viaduct, and I was going over the viaduct. It was New Year's Day. I had just gotten off work, so it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, New Year's Day. I'm in I had a Chevy Escort at the time, 90-something model, blue. And I had a choice. I'm like, do I want to go over the viaduct because it's been snowing, or do I want to take the long way around, go over the train tracks and go through the train tracks and everything? And I was like, okay, I'll get over. I saw cars getting over the viaduct and everything, so I'm fine. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going maybe 10 miles an hour at the most. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I got up to the top of the viaduct, I slid. I must have hit the sweet spot for the black ice, because all I could do was I'm like sitting there. I'm just going on. I'm a passenger now, and I'm just trying to turn it to where I can ensure I don't go in the other lane because I thought I was going to go in the other, so I'm trying to turn it to where I turn backwards, I slide in. The only thing that saved me from going off the viaduct's edge into the grass was actually a telephone pole. Because the viaduct at that end, at that downward part, did not have a guardrail.
God bless AT&T.
So I went like this. I'm like, car's still running. I literally went like this. I went like, yeah, Grandma, I'm gonna be late. I was in an accident. No, I'm fine. I'm good. Let me call the cops. I'm gonna go stop at Pop Dots. Yeah, I'm on the viaduct. I'm gonna stop at Pop Dots. Grandma, chill. No, you don't need to come get me. No, you don't need to come get. I'm fine.
How fast
I'm fine.
you
Look,
was?
there's 20 other people already here. I'm fine, Grandma. Grandma, I'm fine. Stop panicking.
How fast you was?
Oh my God. And so I called 911. I was like, yeah, it was an accident. I'm on Highway 111. I'm over the viaduct by Pop Dots. I said, yeah, I'm gonna move over to where Pop Dots is. The car's drivable. I'm gonna move over to where Pop Dots is. The cop can meet me there because I wanted to get somewhere. One, I want to get somewhere where I could get a little warm, and two, I needed another pack of cigarettes at this point. So drive over. Yeah, my it's mostly cosmetic damage. I did my report, got my insurance things and everything. Went home.
And how fast you was?
What was that?
How fast you was?
Probably no more than 10 miles an hour when I got over the top.
Oh, that's a shame.
No, because I'm glad. No, you were trying to be very careful to go in no faster. Nobody was going more than 10. Like I said, I just hit the sweet spot. It seemed because everybody else seemed to avoid it, but somehow my tire just when I got over, it somehow happened right over at the top of the viaduct, and then it's just I hit whatever it was, and that was the end of it. There was nothing I could do.
Oh yeah.
It's like you just felt everything, that the entire car went out of control, and all I'm doing is trying to keep it going more back towards the right so I'm not getting into the area of traffic.
Sounds like you were just out of the rut of the person ahead of you.
Yep.
Yeah, they might have it might have, just bad luck, bad timing on my part. And that was my New Year's experience after getting out of the Marine Corps between I've done Tiki of Doom. I've done Donner's Pass quite a bit. Yeah, I have too. I think I drove Donner's Pass, oh God, a few dozen times in my 7 years living in California.
And I'll say I couldn't put on chains, don't want to learn, don't intend to be any place I need to have them on.
Now, most people down here don't think they're going to need them, but every now and again, Mother Nature comes in and says, here, hold my beer and watch this shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trust me, in Texas, we get those ice storms, and you know what? I wake up and it's ice. I text the boss, I'm not coming in. And then I go right back to sleep.
In a nice, toasty, warm bed.
That's right.
Everybody brings. I think this comes up every time I bring up Donner's Passes. They bring up Tiki brings up the Donner Party.
Everybody knows. I mean, if you've read one history book, you should know about the Donner Party.
You know, Tiki,
I just think it's funny every time I bring up Donner's Pass, that comes up. I think.
You know, Tiki, I know you know how to why don't you come on here if you're gonna talk? That's fine. You're more than welcome on here.
You can have my play. You can have my spots. Come on, get up.
I'm on mute. I'm actually going to go back in now.
Okay, everybody, take advantage. NB Geek is not talking, therefore you got you can get some word in edgewise.
No, thanks. I'm fine.
So it's let's see here. I know that Elihu is going to be doing something in a while. I'm not sure when, but at this point. But let's see here. Two hours, I think. 2:05 p.m. my time. So yeah. Yeah, close to whatever. It's under 3 hours. So when is Bird going on? Anybody know?
South
I
again.
do not know.
I think it's about 11.
Oh,
It's either 11 or 12.
Oh, his that's right. His Futurama.
Correct.
It's usually at 2-ish my time, I think. I'm
Okay.
Central.
Oh yes, I'm Central as well. And after all, Central is the only time zone that counts.
Very true.
This had to be my favorite Gamtrack. This had to be my favorite meme I've seen the last couple of days.
I'll look at it in just a second.
Yep, no worries. Swear I'm gonna have to put my wife and son in a corner if they can't behave themselves.
Separate corners or together?
I don't know.
There, finally pulled up.
That's because Georgia, you're an idiot.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Because I mean, all you got to do is tell a story. Forget all the intersectional politics bullshit. Tell us a story. Damn it. You're supposed to be a storyteller.
He doesn't know what a story is.
Yeah.
Well, I saw one that was really interesting where people were talking about in 17 minutes, Bill Barr's character as a former sniper trooper got more backstory and character development than Finn got in 3 frickin' movies.
Yep.
I mean, and with Finn, boy, did they screw up. Because, okay, Finn's character could have been like Teal'c in Stargate. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
top guy, believed this one thing all his life, and the epiphany hits that he's been doing wrong, and it really starts to bother him.
All right, Tiki.
The thing is, that could have been part of Luke or the Force somehow bringing in another someone that can become a Jedi.
Yeah, he should have been training with Rey. He hands down should have been training with Rey. That third movie should have been him and Rey both being Jedis at this point.
The first movie should have been him training.
I agree.
Should have begun like midway.
Ray should have never been anywhere close to the Force.
True. Well, no, Ray should have been Luke's Padawan at the time of the first movie.
I see that, and then Finn kind of gets brought along.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I thought I wish Luke would have been the one that saved them in the forest. Like when I saw that the Force Awakens, I thought Luke was going to be the one that has to rescue him from because like the way that Rey beats Kylo Ren, I think it would have been better just to have it would have been better to have Luke be the one that kind of gets him out of there, and they have to train and get better, and that way they can fight him later on.
Now that Deus Ex Machina, I don't think
Sure.
It might have worked. It should have worked, I think, but they don't think like that.
I gotta admit, it did sound like a little fu to Ryan Johnson and JJ because the way Luke says he's talented in the Force, but talent without training is useless. I'm like, ooh, was that kind of an fu to them about Rey? Because it sure sounded like it to me.
No, it wasn't kind of. It was a exactly.
It was straight up.
Yeah.
On
that was
the
a
nose.
big like fu.
Well, actually, it's a big fu to KK, if you think about it, because she's letting all this happen, and she agrees with it, according to rumor.
Putting Luke in the last episode of The Mandalorian was a big fu to KK.
Oh, yeah, since she made him into a fat old drunk.
I appreciate the fact that within very short time of watching it, I had already seen people who were posting both that fight scene with Luke, and then the top line would be the fight scene with Vader from Rogue One, and it's like I found the meme already. It said like father like son. I'm like, oh yeah, oh that was good.
You know, I've heard I think they were joking, but actually the speculation. What are the chances that they didn't actually tell KK that they were going to bring Luke back? And I thought it was a joke, and then it was how come there weren't any rumors? Because if they'd told KK, her minions would have been on Twitter, bitching about the fact that they were going to bring Luke back. Yeah. That would have been rumors all over the YouTube community. I don't know, but it's weird because I can't believe she greenlit that after what she said about Luke, the character, in public. I mean, she's on record as hating him, as hating Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I would
love to know the backstory.
I don't think she really has any creative control over that show. I don't think she really has any creative control over that show.
Well, it's easy to keep a secret and have it damn locked down.
I gotta admit, how the hell they managed to keep that completely secret?
Exactly.
I mean, I got to applaud them for pulling that off, because that was just like the coolest freaking thing to have happen, and none of us saw. Okay, Jack and I were talking prior. We had said this on prior times. We talked about The Mandalorian. We thought maybe it's going to be Ezra Bridger. That seemed like the most logical. Yes, we made comments about the idea of it being Luke, but we didn't think it would really happen.
Well, they could have filmed it as being Ezra or someone else, because all the stuff putting Luke in it would have been done in post-production, so everyone actually on set that day could have assumed it was someone else.
Yeah.
Until R2-D2 shows up, though. That kind of kills it right there. Unless those were filmed separately. For all we know, there could have been no... They could have been in the same room when this was all filmed.
Yeah. They could have just been a dummy and a robot and a camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But hasn't the rumor been for the longest that they kind of keep Kathleen out of what's going on at the Mandalorian?
I've heard that rumor. I don't know how true it is, and I'll be honest, I've gotten away from listening to rumors.
Well, they clearly didn't tell her anything about that Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm based on the reviews. I have not seen any episode of the show yet. Based on the reviews people are giving, okay, it's nothing like what she screwed up with these last 3 movies. So it's and it's true to kind of the spirit of of Star Wars. So maybe there isn't in it. Maybe she's like locked out of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Well,
far the
movie
entire
departments
series
and
has been what they tried to make The Rise of Skywalker. It's been one apology after another. We fucked up Luke Skywalker. Here's something to fix it. And
Well,
they've
see,
just been doing that over and over throughout the series.
it's too late to apologize. Okay, in my opinion,
Never too late to apologize. We just need to do it professionally.
You put that second movie out, and it was fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck your mama. Okay, so it's too late to apologize now.
That one does still sting a little bit. A little bit. I hadn't watched the show, but I watched just this one episode that came out this week of Mandalorian, and I loved it. I'm not sure if I'll think the rest of the show is as great, but just as like a single episode, I really liked it. And then the way that they have this Conan the Barbarian homage at the very end with Boba Fett. And the way that, and I love the way they brought back Bib spoilers, but they bring back Bib Fortuna, and he's a fat ass, and I thought, oh my god, that's great.
Yep.
But yeah, it really, that's all I really wanted was a continuation of Star Wars. I didn't want what they gave us. I was okay with new characters, but this is closer to what I wanted.
Yeah. I think that somebody said, I didn't come up with this, but I agree with it, that Kathleen Kennedy decided she had to destroy the original characters so that people would like Rey, Kylo Ren, and her new characters that they were going to introduce in the final 3 movies, and it backfired because nobody liked the new characters, and she thoroughly pissed off all the original fans of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on a stream yesterday talking about the Mandalorian with Jake D, and my attitude is this is a test for Disney because Disney's in horrible financial shape. And while I agree that up until this year, Kathleen Kennedy could do this, they could trash Star Wars. They were going in a completely new direction. They didn't need the fans, didn't want the fans that had stuck by Star Wars for 40 years, that saw it first as children and then stayed with it all their lives. Yeah. And they were going to throw us all overboard, and they were going to build a new fan base. Well, the problem is they don't have the money to indulge that KK's vision. They need to make money because Disneyland is closed. Disney World is at reduced capacity, and those are their cash cows. Yeah, but those are their cash cows. So they can't afford, and with movie theaters shut, they can't come out with, there is no $1 billion movie on the horizon for the foreseeable future. So they're going to have to make some money on everything they do. And if it doesn't make money, they're going to have to unload it because Disney can't afford it anymore. This is going to be the test. Does Disney say, do we go with Kathleen's vision and lose money, which we can't afford to do, or do we go with Favreau and Filoni, who's making a show where when Luke takes the cowl back, they did an audience. I saw an audience reaction shot. Looked like it was filmed in a college auditorium, and the entire crowd leapt to their feet and were screaming and yelling and clapping. It was a huge positive reaction, and if that doesn't send the message to Disney and the executive suite, Kathleen is not the future of Lucasfilms if you want to make money with Lucasfilms. Yeah.
But
I don't know what else they can do.
The sad thing about it, they could have left. You had the Skywalker trilogy, the prequels, and then the 3 movies, and with Rogue One in the middle. Okay, leave that alone.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can look at what you can do with that Star Wars universe. You can rebuild the Republic, or you could something like the old Republic, whenever the golden age of everything, when Jedi's were not feared, Jedi's were respected because they were more diplomats than they were warriors, and they kept the balance. And you lead into with 3 movies, you lead into what started the breakdown that got you into the Skywalker saga. Those, those 3 or 4 movies on that theme would bring in new fans. It would keep us old fans happy, but you have to tell a story, and they don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Well, they had most of it already written for them. All they really needed to do was base the new trilogy around the new Jedi Order book series.
Yeah.
They kill off a lot of the old characters, and they're phasing into more of the Solo children being the heroes.
Yeah.
Because they can't deal with religion and mystical.
Sure.
Well, my whole thing was, I even said it, when I left The Force Awakens and I walked out, I literally sat in my car or my truck, and I was like, my first comment I put on Facebook was, "Hey, Kylo, Jason Solo called. He'd like his origin back because he did it better."
Yeah.
Because I know Jason Solo's history. I watched him from the day he was born to his fall to Darth Krytus to his death by the hands of his sister, Jaina Solo. I watched them grow up. I saw these characters grow up in the books. I cared about them. When I read Vector Prime, I knew Chewbacca was going to die in Vector Prime, and every page got more painful and more painful the closer I got. And then when it finally happened, and that moon crashed in and killed Chewbacca, I actually put the book down, walked after that chapter, walked away for a few hours, and kind of had to reflect on the death of a character. Yeah, it was in the written form, but it didn't make it any less impactful on me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had something similar. I was reading that book in the middle of class, and when it got to that point and Anakin just pulled up and left him there and the moon crashes, I was like, what the fuck? And I tossed the book in the middle of class.
I'm not a big fan of that one. I'm okay with that one getting retconned. But I didn't read that book, but a moon crashing into Chewbacca sounds weird.
No, the moon crashes into the planet. Chewbacca is unfortunately Anakin has to make a choice, and he's unable to save Chewbacca, and Chewbacca knows this, and Anakin Solo has to pull it up, and they have to get out, and you have Chewbacca just howling at this moon that's crashing in. I'm like, hey, it took a frickin' moon to take the Wookiee down.
Is that the Yuuzhan Vong?
Yes.
Good point. Good
It was the Yuuzhan Vong. It was the very first book called Vector Prime. And yeah, they had to get approval for killing off Chewbacca, but the way they did it was just badass. It was sure a lot better than Han Solo got in The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Stabbed by some punk.
I think they're going to do the Heir to the Empire storyline. That's what got me excited. I think they're going to bring in Thrawn. I think we're going to get, because they're going to bring in, I think, that early 90s kind of EU stuff. And that to me is exciting because, I mean, I think Mara Jade, Thrawn, it'll be a little different, but
I
think it's
see
cool.
Mara Jade being part of the in an Ahsoka series where they continue the Thrawn trilogy kind of thing. I would like to see a Mara Jade, an Emperor's Hands, something like that would be nice.
And then what was the other guy?
But I would want Timothy Zahn to be somewhere in there. Oh, Koran Horn? Oh, yeah. Oh, an X-Wing series like with Koran, or like the X-Wing series that had Wedge Antilles and introduced us to Koran Horn?
They're making a movie of Rogue Squadron with the Wonder Woman director.
Patty Jenkins.
Yeah, it might be okay. She's kind of. I'm not really looking forward to Wonder Woman 84, but I think she can make.
It doesn't look that interesting to me.
Yeah.
No, but on that Disney promo thing, how much of that do you think is wet dream, and how much will really actually get done?
I don't know. Oh, of all their slate up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half of
the
those
big
are
wet
gonna be rolled
dream. Yeah,
together.
like half crap. Yeah.
Cause it looked like they just kind of pushed all that out there because of what MGM is doing with HBO Max. I mean,
Yeah.
Warner.
Mhm.
You know,
I would say, yeah, Linda, I would say most of it's a wet dream, but I think that the trailer, the confirmations we got, Bad Batch, that looks interesting, and Andor looks interesting. I like that character from Rogue One. I would love to see, the early, I'd like to see a little bit of the rebellion in that early point because if you think about it, Rogue
yeah,
One is mentioned in the crawl where it says the rebellion just won its first major victory. That was the
uh,
first major victory. So,
yeah,
what was some of the things beforehand? You could bring in the lady who's played Mon Mothma in Rogue One, and
Mon
she could,
Mothma.
yeah, Mothma, and she looks very
You're
much like
pronouncing
the
wrong.
original. I don't care if I
She's
say the name
called.
wrong. Screw it.
funny.
She's called Mon Mothma.
That's what I
No,
said, Mon
say
Mothma.
that. No, just say that.
And but
Christ.
I mean, there's so we know that that's getting 12 episodes for a season. That ought to be interesting. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see that, see the more spy side of it, of the rebellion. A different take on it. I liked K2SO. I
yeah,
thought that was a great droid. I'd love to see it back again. I think it's going to be potential. I think that Bad Batch. Personally, the Clone Trooper Echo was a fan favorite of mine, so him being back, them bringing him back after we thought he died, was really cool. So,
yeah. Even there's a movie behind. Remember from the second Death Star, many Bothans died to get us this information. That would
oh,
be
I
a
thought the same thing. I
that
would
would be a
love to
movie.
see that. I would love to see a movie about how they Bothans got the plans.
They
I
would
don't
have
even
to
know
change
what
the
a button
Bothans
looks
up a little
like.
bit.
Why would they have to change what a Bothan looks like?
I
We
don't.
know
I
what a
don't
Bothan
even.
looks
See,
like.
I don't even know what
They're like
a
4.5
button looks
feet
like.
tall.
It's
Never see a
called
button
Google
in my life.
Bothan. Go Google the word Bothan Star Wars. You'll see what they look like.
No, great. That. Okay, it's
I'm not
official.
going to
Now
do
it's
everything
Google
for you.
Sunday. It's Google Sunday now.
Hey, I'm not going to do everything for you. You're going to have to look some stuff up yourself.
Thanks, Dad.
And get a haircut.
Oh no, let's not go there, okay? Up until I joined the army, that was the lecture for me.
Oh boy. Well, on that note, I'm going to head out, folks. It's been fun.
Oh,
Hey,
Take
come
care,
on.
Red Shirt.
See you later.
We'll see y'all later.
It's
See
been
you,
fun
Richard.
having
Okay,
you.
have a good Sunday.
Yep, you too.
I have a random point I wanted to mention about that episode that I liked. The way that they set up where the Mandalorian had to fight one of these dark troopers or whatever they are,
Mm-hmm.
and how they stretched that out, and then they showed how powerful these things are compared to the characters that we're used to in the show, and then they show Luke come in and just annihilate them, and it just shows like a different power level and a different type of character in the universe, and like I love that. I love that the Jedi were completely OP compared to the ground level characters we get in the show. And I like that you got like a little glimpse of that world. It was almost like Superman coming in and then leaving. And it's like, oh, okay, these are just normal cops or bounty hunters or whatever.
They take the Dark Troopers from the video games, right?
Well, actually, they were kind of more like a cyborg in the comics. I think they were. They actually were like force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in
Grogu.
I think in the show they're still force sensitive too, though, because they're when Luke comes on the ship, they notice and they pull their guns out.
No, they're pure
Yeah,
droids in the show.
I would say that was more they knew somebody was coming, and
So
I don't know.
Do you think they're completely droid? You think in the show, or?
Yeah, that's what the doctor said when they're planning it out. Said they're completely droids now.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. They said that was a weakness. Yeah.
And then we see Luke just. I like how they split it up with the way they did Luke's reveal. We're seeing parts of it through the screens, and then we're seeing parts of it in person. And it's like, they're seeing, and of course, Bo-Katan's like a Jedi, and that's the look when Esposito literally goes from confident to like fear in just a split second.
I don't know that guy's name, but that Moff guy is really good.
Moff Gideon.
I like that guy. He's a good actor.
Oh, he's fantastic. I mean, that scene where he's like, the Jedi, and like I said, his face just changes completely. I'm like, now that's some acting. I really bought into. He's like, oh shit, he is terrified.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though: how are they going to fix this? Because that's what I've been wondering. I was pretty down on all this stuff, and then I watched that episode, and I'm like, okay, you got my interest. I'll watch a little bit more. Because that's what I wanted them to do, and I can see what direction they're going in, and it looks good. It's just I don't know how they're going to save it from the Rian Johnson ending for Luke, because that sucks. That's
God, how many times I must say that they would just erase and forget it. The original films must be already on a trash can already.
You don't need to mention it again.
It's going to be something to do with Ahsoka and having to do with a thing in Rebels that deals with, and I forgot the name of it, but there's some kind of really powerful force area that can actually alter some form of time. I'd have to look it up in Rebels because I don't remember it off the top of my head. Actually, let me just type in Ahsoka in Wikipedia here, and that'll probably tell me.
So they're going to jack with time travel now in the Star Wars universe.
They haven't done it too bad.
Yeah, I'm not.
They haven't really done it much.
That's becoming the ultimate cop out in sci-fi.
Yeah,
build a time machine, go back and fix it.
Okay, now there is at least history in having an alternate timeline in Star Wars, so it's not like it's just being brought out now.
But it was from Rebels, though. Like I think that's the thing. They set it up in Rebels only a few years ago, maybe to give themselves this out. I think.
Yeah.
But
because that was Favreau and Filoni introducing here's a possibility we're offering you. If you go away from Kennedy and go with us, we can fix this. And this is how we're going to do it. So it all depends if the execs want to ditch Kennedy and put Favreau in their place.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. I mean, they gotta do some other things too, like get rid of that High Republic or whatever that stupid thing is, and all these other kind of I don't know.
Oh yeah, High Republic. If they get rid of Kennedy, High Republic, that one show that one girl they hired to make, those go away instantly.
There's some pretty bad ones on that slate.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I was asking about how much is reality and how much is wet dream.
Yeah.
Because just looking at all of that, I'm like, there's no fucking way they're going to do all of that in a couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, the logistics of it is insane.
The other question I have is all these comics they've been making for the last 5-6 years with Disney. I think most of those are terrible, and they're counting those all as canon too. All these other, I mean, they've been making some bad stuff for about 5 years. Like, is all that going to be canon too? I mean,
it's called what I was talking about is called the Virgin Scatterer, or the World Between Worlds. That's what I was talking about when it comes to Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And Are they going to retcon? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not even bothering thinking about it because I'm at a point now. I've stopped giving a shit about it. I'm just gonna let. I'm gonna see where the chips fall where they may. I'm an old EU guy. I know how to separate my cannons. So if they do some really good stuff in the future, great. I'll follow it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to. If they never get rid of the sequel trilogy, I'll be like, well, then I guess that's one area I won't be bothering with. But we'll see. I just right now I just kind of want to enjoy the moments and some of the highs we're getting, and let the chips fall where they may. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna matter. People are still gonna bitch no matter what.
Yeah, I mean it's never gonna be fixed, but I mean if they keep making good stuff, well, it'll be easier to forget the bad stuff. I mean that's kind of what happened with Star Trek. I mean, if you really look at it, like Generations was probably pretty disappointing. I wasn't a fan back then, but I'm sure I'm sure some people were bummed out. It's like to see Captain Kirk go out like that kind of fucking sucks. But I mean, I think the point is if you keep making good stuff, you'll kind of just get past it easier.
Yeah.
I look at it this way. I had no problem with Kirk dying because I always was kind of the belief that Kirk was never the type of character who was going to die old and in his bed somewhere.
No.
This was a guy who was going to die in service. It seemed like that would always be the case. Now, he would die while doing something, maybe an accident. There's always a possibility of that. But no, it was more along like he was going to die in the line of duty because that's what he was. He was never going to just. I mean, how many times did he try and retire and he just sucked at it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like
the story itself was pretty trashed.
Yeah, like they could have done it better, but I mean,
they could have done it better. Yes, well, hands down, they could have done it. Fuck.
They did not need Kirk and Picard to meet whatsoever.
Well, they could have used that.
That moment passed in season 1.
The only reason I think they made that movie is they wanted an excuse to blow up this cruise liner.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, okay, we're gonna make this movie. What are we gonna? We're gonna blow up the cruise liner. Why? Let's be honest. Nobody really likes it. We've got a couple of cooler ideas we're gonna put in for the next movie.
And they destroyed the set too. That's the funniest part.
Yeah.
They could have toured that around the country, made some money off of it. Destroyed.
Well, one of the dumbest things that they did throughout all of one of the dumbest things, Tiki, they did, I found out, is every time they did a Star Trek movie, they tore the sets completely down. They never kept them around just in case they were going to make new ones. So one of the things they had to do was they had to keep remaking them from scratch every damn time.
Because cleaning that carpet's too expensive.
You remind me
Try
of
to keep the captain's chair clean.
Star Trek 5, they didn't even put the carpet down all the way.
Like Star Trek 5 was a dream episode.
Yeah.
The only good parts are the camping parts.
It's pretty weird.
Because Spock never had brothers or sisters.
I can believe he had a half brother.
No. Absolutely not.
And hello, that Nigel movie guy.
Hey, Nigel.
Oh well, you'll.
Hey, congratulations. 200 subs.
Now you only have. Oh, great! Now you only have 198. Well. We'll get you back. Well, somehow you'll get back up there. One of the things that YouTube is doing now is mods are no longer able to add links to the chat. So, if anybody wants to add a link, I have to do it.
Huh.
Yay, fuck you, YouTube.
Wow, it's your job. You are the captain. You are supposed to do that.
Oh, it's supposed to be an ensign's job.
Yeah. The captain tells the ensign to do it.
Well, thanks to
And the captain gets credit.
Of course.
Thanks to the unionized red shirts for that. The union don't allow that anymore.
I can't even. What would even be the benefit of not allowing people to share links? Is it just?
They can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll keep the smaller channels from growing, and they'll allow them to put more emphasis on their corporate partners.
Oh, and here's what I loved. Let's see if I can get back up to it. Okay. Now, I posted the link in the chat. I posted the link to YouTube.
Utard.
StreamYard for YouTube in the chat. Yeah, we're gonna call YouTube Utard.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
Okay.
Now this is what came up after I posted the link to StreamYard in my chat. YouTube rejected your comment. It is fairly common when sharing a link. You may need to share the link in another way.
It's so friendly. It's just so friendly.
It's like, yeah, you know what? It's my chat. I should have the right to share my link.
No, you don't.
You're
It's
not gonna get in
YouTube's
trouble
now.
for doing this, are you, Cap?
Huh? What'd you say, Mr.
You're not gonna
Lloyd?
get in trouble for this, are you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck.
You know,
Fuck
I'm
you
trying.
too.
Oh.
Yes.
Our captain's getting a dirty mouth now. Thank you, YouTube. We are YouTube's making Captain Trek R-rated now.
Are we even allowed to say things like I don't like New Trek?
It's encouraged.
According to YouTube, no, but yeah, fuck YouTube. I hate New Trek. You don't like it, say it.
I
gave
fucking
up.
hate it. You all know
Yeah.
I hate it.
I gave up
problem
on
is-
New Trek after one season of STD, one season of Picard. Never watch another Trek show again, unless it's from the Golden Age.
Yep.
I always say this. At this point, there are 725 Star Trek episodes between The Cage and These Are the Voyages, and 10 movies. There's more than enough Star Trek content for me to spend the rest of my life loving.
Hell yeah, same here.
And
Absolutely.
that Nigel movie guy, you are more than welcome if you're able to come on and say you don't like New Trek. You are more than welcome. Anyone on the panel may say you don't like New Trek. I don't care.
I think Star Trek would be easy to fix, though. I mean, if you just made a good Star Trek show, it's like we were talking about with Mandalorian. Like, just make a good Star Trek show. Set it sometime after the TNG era. Don't mention a lot of other stuff. You let it get its own legs, and then have none of these people working on it now. Working on on this. Just fire all of them.
Yeah.
I think it could get some of its fan base back. I don't think it's.
Yeah, just do what they did with Next Generation. Jump forward a few decades, and you can have it a legacy name if you want, but just copy some of the old premises for the script, first season of scripts,
and
then slowly build your way from there.
This is
also
what
make it episodic, not serialized.
Yeah, totally.
And this is the one thing they miss about TOS going into TNG. You got the original series fans watching the Next Generation.
Yeah.
And you drew in more fans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I was coming up, it was just TOS, and then you started getting the movies. I'm probably the oldest guy in here. Okay. And a lot of you guys listening to you guys, you were kids watching Picard, and then you got to maybe TOS because of TNG. So, what happened that you got me to watch Next Gen and got you into Next Gen and made you watch TOS? What happened in there? That's what they need to be trying to figure out.
I know exactly why I was. It's actually pretty interesting. My grandmother was a huge fan of TOS. She had all the episodes. And at the time I started watching those VHS tapes, Star Trek The Next Generation was just starting. So I was watching both The Next Generation weekly, and then I'd be with the entire family, and then I'd be downstairs watching The Adventures of Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. And I was watching them side by side, 60 stuff, 80 stuff. I did not care. I was very much enjoying both. And it was like, I had a lot of questions. Well, why is, Star Trek like this now, but it wasn't like this then? And this is when I got, taught about things like, the way the special effects were back then versus this. That there was a lot of education that came out of it. And I was able to appreciate both of them. I mean, my two favorite characters were at the time when I was a kid was Spock and Data. Those were really my two favorites. I always loved it. I always loved those two. Those were my top two at the time when I was a child. But I mean, they were able to do it real well with TOS, TNG, DS9. I still say they knocked it out of the park.
Oh hell yeah!
That was the height. That was the height of, as far as I'm concerned, that was the height of Star Trek.
Yep, that was the pinnacle of the golden age.
Voyager had a major drop off. Yeah. Enterprise picked up steam, but Enterprise, I think, was definitely a pickup. But at that point, there was a lot more sci-fi competition. Star Trek had been on for now going on, 15 years? So it was kind of probably had a lot to do with fatigue.
Yeah, I've said that there was kind of a Trek burnout when Enterprise came along.
Yeah. And then the last couple movies are pretty crappy too.
Stuff though.
I mean, because let's face it, DS9, especially the last 2 seasons, that was a hell of a roller coaster ride.
This is what I got to say about those couple of seasons right there, Mr. Lundell.
Yeah. I mean, that Dominion War and personal, conflict that the characters had in that and everything, that was television. That was what the backdrop with sci-fi was and has been all about. Especially with somebody like me, not only watch movies and enjoy TV shows, but I read a lot of them.
Well, interesting to say, despite the Dominion War, the Dominion War is not exactly the starting point for the Dark Ages of Star Trek. It came
no,
the
that
Dark
kind
Age
of
of Star
started
Trek.
with, I'm sorry, but Star Trek started to go downhill with Voyager. Those first 3.5 seasons. Those first 3.5 seasons are very hard for me to watch, and it's mostly a couple of areas. One, Captain Janeway couldn't figure out what the hell kind of captain she was supposed to be. She was whatever captain she was supposed to be by whatever writer told her, this is how you're going to captain this time. I did not like Neelix and Kes until they actually broke up. Then their characters finally became something of an interesting thing. And then they got rid of Kes because they were stupid and they didn't know what to do with her, and they've even admitted that.
Thanks, Dad, for helping me on that. I am not allowed to say that anything about that on Captain Trek show. And somehow, for some reason, he's mute. Why? What the hell's going on?
Maybe he's busy.
He don't like. He don't like this topic. And
of what? Of Voyager?
Yeah.
I've never watched all the episodes of Voyager. I don't think I might have, but I just can never watch it all the way through. I take breaks and I'll come back and watch it a couple months later.
No, well, since he is mute, I think I'm not allowed to say. Star Trek Voyager is like, what if Kathleen Kennedy run a Star Trek show?
What if Kathleen Kennedy made TNG? That's what it feels.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's insulting to Voyager because I think she would have made it even worse than.
It would have been worse. It would have probably been worse.
I look at it this way: when I went through my binge phase this year through Star Trek, I started with TNG, and I purposely made TOS last. I wanted to save the best for last, in my opinion. As far as even though DS9 is my absolute all-time favorite Star Trek series, so I'm watching TNG, and it has its low points, it has its high points, and then I get to DS9, and here's the thing. This is why Cisco really resonates with me. He was, at this point in time, now I'm a 30-something, I'm a 40-year-old man, military career, been a single parent, have raised children, and had many of those father-son kind of things, doing the military stuff. So he was really the commander to captain that I, as an adult, could relate to more than any other captain in Star Trek, because he was very relatable as a kind of captain to me. And he acted a lot like the way I wanted certain officers to be. I wanted a strong officer. As a senior, as an enlisted guy, we don't want weak officers, because trust me, they are more trouble than they're worth. No. We want a strong, competent officer, and we want to make sure they succeed. And the way he just came off and he just was owning that role and the evolution. I mean, you kind of see the way his evolution goes from, clean shaven to going to goatee to going the hair. It's like his character just gets better as that transition goes. And it was a big, in the whole thing with him and the way he acted and presented himself as a Starfleet officer.
Yeah.
But then, you had things like The Pale Moonlight, which is my all-time favorite. He was the captain who could make that decision. He was the one who I said, he's the one who would have sent the virus with you and called it a day and not given it a second thought.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, if I'm allowed to say that, I like my officers strong and black, just like Captain Trek.
Okay, that's sure. Why not? And we'll call them white.
But then we go from the highs of that, and then you get to Voyager, and it's just a letdown. It's a major letdown in quality storytelling.
And
now by season 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, it got better, but those first 3.5 seasons, I have to be honest, are very hard to watch.
Let's be honest, it got mainly better because of 7 of 9, and she was mainly just eye candy.
Not necessarily. She's eye candy. She's a Baywatch babe in the middle of Star Trek.
Well, it's like there were several times where I really had it. Whereas when Cisco is going after, I think it's Krennic, because he's like, "You betrayed your uniform." He's taking this personally, and it's believable. You understand, because you understand what the Federation and Starfleet means to Cisco. You do not get that same feeling when it comes to Captain Janeway versus Captain Ramsey. It's almost like she's almost hypocritical in some of the way she acts towards him. And it's kind of like, oh, please, lady, I've seen you do some crap that I wanted to be like, hello, Tuvix? Tuvix?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Because the thing to do would have been, okay, you confessed to me you did this. Now, look, your ship ain't going to be able to make it. Everybody come on this one. I'm in charge. So take one of the pips off. We need to concentrate on getting back home, and we're going to let the brass decide any punishment for you.
If we make it home, that would have been the way to do it.
Yeah, because the Equinox definitely needed Voyager.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Janeway could have used the extra hands from that ship.
Well, those little green guys would never let Ransom go away.
Not necessarily. There could have been a way, but the point is, maybe not. But
Yeah.
Ransom could have his sacrifice could have been much more done better.
Well, at least they got 4 people from there. They lost their
But
rank.
you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
See, that could have
been.
We never see people from the Equinox inside Voyager ever again.
That could have been those 4 people could have been 4 individual stories they could have told on the way back to Earth.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, look at them. They were messed up in the head. All PTSD to the max. These people had, and
well, they had.
You could have played with that,
No,
Janeway
just demoted. No, Janeway just stripped them of their rank and sent them back to work.
Yeah.
And didn't give 2 shits about their mental health.
Well, they were under the one blonde policy back then. So no, we already have 7 of 9, so no more blondes. Girl, go back there.
It's like I said, the storytelling just is such a drop off in Voyager, and then Enterprise I thought really picked it up. I thought the first season really good, second season decent. Third season, I think what they should have done personally, this is how I would have preferred it. They could have jumped a time jump ahead of a few years, and say the Columbia's made. There's a few other annexes. There's some upgrades and stuff, and then the Romulan War.
Honestly, I think that.
Actually, the Romulan War should have been something looming in the background the entire series.
The Romulan War should be season 3.
Because you got the Vulcans there advising you, and you've seen you've seen those episodes. You understand why there's a prime directive and why Starfleet does this as opposed to that, because of shit or situations Archer got the Enterprise in. Okay, now add to that, just always in the background, there's this Romulan thing. At this point, nobody's supposed to know what a Romulan looks like. Okay, Vulcans, nobody knows what Romulans look like at this point, because it's pre-TOS.
Mm-hmm.
It could have just been this thing, the Romulans blew up this planet. They poisoned the people on this world, and this, that, and the other. But nobody, and things are starting to line up, and there's going to be this confrontation. You don't know when, but it's going to happen. That could have been the looming backdrop, I think, should have been for the entire run of Enterprise.
That really should have taken the place of the whole Xindi thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think that for the most part, season 1 of Enterprise was rather weak. It was the worst, quite honestly. Season 2 got better. Season 3, I think, was a little too long. They could have cut the Xindi story in half and still gotten the point across.
I agree.
You don't need a whole season to tell that story.
Yeah, that's a 2-parter at most.
Yeah,
I think they could have gotten it in even 5 episodes would have been fine.
What, the Xindi thing?
Yeah.
Well,
you can do it in a month. 4 episodes tops.
Well, actually,
I'd say 6 to 8.
Actually, the whole time travel conundrum thing, they could have done without.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, you can do it 6 to 8 episodes, but Phlox must die.
Why do you want to kill off Phlox? Everybody likes Phlox.
I don't like Phlox.
I did.
I mean, you could have said Neelix. I would have even understood that.
Look,
Yeah.
Phlox is a genocidal maniac.
Only
Remember season
only
1?
in the mirror universe.
Yeah.
No. Remember season 1? That people who was asking for help and he said, "No, I'm not gonna help these people because they are this other race on the planet. They are evolving. You're matching too much with their evolution. No, I have the cure for the problem, but I'm not gonna give them because reasons."
No, actually, he really spelled out his reasons quite
Yeah.
well.
And
And
he was
he
wrong.
was not his final. And it was the captain who made the ultimate decision, not Phlox.
Mhm. And that's an episode that you use that in the debate about the Prime Directive.
There was
If you
no
think
Prime
of-
Directive back then. He should save these
That's
people.
the point.
See,
Should
but
have
but
saved
he
them.
said
that's
just
what. Yeah, go
that's
ahead.
what made the episode
Okay.
important because they had, it was like he said, I have the cure. He goes, I know how to fix this, but ethically, I don't know if I should. These
Oh,
are,
cool.
this is
Eh,
why the Prime Directive eventually
And,
gets put
and,
into
and that
place,
and
is
that
to
and that
take
makes
that out of the equation,
Yeah.
take
and
the
that and
ethical
that
part out.
and that makes the best joke about Star Trek Enterprise. He say, "Look, I'm not here to play God, so let them all die."
They do. Remember in TNG,
Yeah.
they let an entire planet die, and Nikolai brings them on, and now they're like, "What the hell are we supposed to do?" And they're dealing with the ethical problem of having to now recolonize these people who, as far as they're concerned, should have perished.
Well, but at least TNG do it professionally and with competence. That was the lowest point on Star Trek Enterprise. Archer should
But
save
maybe
that planet. Archer should say, "No, I will save these people. I'm not bound by any rules that forbid me from interfering. Okay, we have the cure. Let's save them. Other people in the next century can deal with this ethical problem, but I don't have to." That's why I
apparently in his
say
mind he
Dr.
did
Phlox
have
is a
to.
genocidal maniac.
No, he was a man. He was a man ethically conflicted.
I say
But
Captain Archer was under influence. Captain Archer acts under the influence of Dr. Phlox.
I'm not buying that.
No.
I'm not buying that one, buddy. This is Archer. Archer didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make this deal. You can have your Xindi War arch in 6 to 8 episodes. We must kill Captain Archer's dog. Okay?
No,
Oh, leave
you can't kill
Porthos out of
Porthos.
this.
No.
Porthos.
He's destined to die in a transporter accident. Come on. The poor dude is already dead.
Oh, you just being a meanie.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
come on.
Die.
The whole reason why we all got behind John Wick's murderous spree is because they killed it because his dog was killed, and we're like, okay, you have a license to go kill everybody.
And that
Hey,
would be
what's
perfect for
what's the
Archer
thing
on the
for
Xindi War. Okay, Archer goes after the Xindi because the Xindi killed his dog.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check out. I'll see
No
you guys
problem.
later.
Later,
Take
man.
care, bud.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Later.
See, but I think that the whole point of the matter is, at the end of the day, is we're just asking for good Star Wars. We're asking for good Star Trek. We're just asking for good stories.
Yeah.
That's
Learn
all we're
how to
asking.
frickin' write. You
Oh,
know?
please.
Yeah.
I mean, you've
And
got
50
some decent actors in these shows, and you're giving them shit to work with.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm sorry,
We
Al
want
Pacino.
sci-fi, not 90210, not whatever in Spain.
Melrose Place.
Look, Sci-Fi did some things good before going to do Sharknado. Look, Sci-Fi has some good things under the belt. At least on the first years. They used to do good. Then now they only do crap.
Oh, the channel. Yeah.
Yeah, the channel. It's Sci-Fi channel.
I think meant the genre. I was like, yeah.
Oh, there is
I
no
think the last
Sci-Fi
good
channel
show on there
anymore.
was.
That's
I think the last really good show on there was.
Yeah. The Sci-Fi channel was a good channel.
It was
the
a great channel back in the day.
The
yeah.
Sci-Fi channel was a good channel before it became the Syphilis channel.
Yeah.
True.
It was good
remember,
back when
this
cable
is
channels.
This was a channel
were
that
what they
gave us
say they were.
Battlestar Galactica and Eureka. And,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are both good.
Yeah.
You know, what was another? House 13.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's so far away ago. So long time ago. In the China, far away.
I remember those days when you would have things to look forward to on TV.
Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah.
Remember, they took over Stargate SG-1.
Yeah.
And then we got Atlantis.
Yeah.
And then we got Universe, and I don't want to talk about that.
No, the Universe was fine.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was
Stargate Universe did nothing wrong. Okay, they had no time for it.
They had time to make garbage.
Yeah.
No, garbage. What garbage?
Garbage. Okay, you're now on this ship you have no control over, but you can still communicate with Earth. You just change out people's bodies, and within like 2 episodes, we literally had people having sex with their partners in somebody else's body, basically violating them.
Yeah.
That was the most disgusting thing I saw. I was like, this is horrible.
And yet you are willing to forgive blocks.
Hey,
Checkmate.
I have my lines in the sand I cross.
Yes.
Me too.
But I'm sorry, violation of somebody's body is something I have a very big problem with.
Not to mention, you had a U.S. senator aboard that ship that died. How do you explain that away?
Oh, that's easy.
I forgot all about the damn senator.
Oh, he died in a crash accident. No big deal. No, he was visiting an aircraft carrier and the plane crashed. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but the only good character in that entire show was honestly the guy who played Rush.
Yeah.
The doctor. That was the only character I liked, and that's because he was designed to be a dickhead. And I could respect
exactly.
that. And I could respect that.
You gotta love it when old boy beat his ass and left him on that planet, though.
Yes, I did.
Yo, that was my favorite scene.
He deserved it.
Oh, he did.
He was asking for it.
What was it later, though? What did the lady say? You shouldn't have left him on the planet. And he goes, I know. And that's all he says.
Yeah.
He's like, I know. What are you going to do about it? There were good moments, but the story was just bad. There was too much dealing with. We were dealing too much with freaking Earth stuff. It's like half the show is somebody in somebody else's body talking to their lover, getting freaky with them. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm fairly certain when they told these people they were going to possess their bodies, I don't think anywhere in the waiver it said I consent to using my body for sex with somebody else. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have a hard time with that one.
Okay.
Drop the Dr. Phlox thing.
Never mind. You have your lines in the sand, I have mine. And that's all I have to say about that.
Not to mention, you had the scientists that were just deathly afraid of the military, but then they were having sex with them.
Oh, remember they tried to pull that coup? And it's like, it's like, even the girl tells her, no, you're civilians. We're military. This is what we do. It's like, did you really think this was going to end in a favorable way for you?
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, that is exactly what I was thinking.
Instead of them picking leaders and then just look, we need to do like some type of political thing here. You know, we need the things that the civilians and the military need to discuss, and so that there are rules that both
That never
sides.
was a problem on board the Enterprise D.
That's because that was a military ship. Everybody there went
Wow.
through basic.
It's not meant to be a democracy. Remember back then on TOS with Kirk and that Ensign and say, "Oh, I vote you should shoot these guys." And Kirk responds, "Okay, Mr. Bailey, good to know. I will remember that when this became a fucking democracy."
Well, here's the thing. You have to understand something. The military does work side by side with contractors, and we do not have direct authority over those contractors. They actually do have a civilian representative we have to go through. Now, that could either be a supervising contractor or a GS level position, but those are the people in charge of them. Now, they, of course, have to follow the most of the rules that I tell them to because it relates to their job, but I am very limited on what I am allowed to tell them what to do. Whereas my military folks, I can make them do all kinds of things. Contractors, you're limited on, they can only be ordered to do what is in their contract. In a sense, that would be how this should have worked out and be like, okay, we're outside our scope here. We need to sit down with the colonel and talk about, okay, we're not military. This isn't our normal lifestyle. How do we go about working this out? I mean, that would have been the logical adult freaking thing because they would have already have established something like this when they had military and civilians working together. This is not some out of the blue freaking thing. This is now we need to establish new rules of engagement. Okay, I'm the senior ranking person of this department. You know, let's sit down with your senior staff and let's see how we want to go about this. That would have been the logical way to go about it.
Right.
Instead of saying, oh, we're going to kidnap you and form a coup like dumbasses.
Okay, let's make a deal. You can have 12 episodes for your Xindi War arc, but Blocks must at least break both legs.
Lord.
Come on.
He's got a hard on for Phlox's death.
I know.
Come on now. I'm asking you to hurt him pretty hard. I'm not asking you to kill him.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. I'll give you this. We can go with the 8 episodes in the arc, and we break his legs and arms. Don't need 12.
Good deal.
Or we could put him in a coma for the rest of the season.
No coma. He must suffer. He must pay for his crimes somehow.
We could amputate him.
Well, you can't castrate him.
No.
That's a little too far. Ouch.
That's just too draconian.
No. I'm
I
not
don't want to
condoning
see that.
Look, you are the writer and director. I am the sadist producer.
Okay, what about this? What about if we have him divorce one of his spouses?
Okay.
Can they do that, I wonder?
Catch Blocks and make the Noblin Married with Children spin-off.
Oh my
God. What is his marriage set up again? I forget. He's got like a husband and a wife and a husband.
Every male has 3 wives and every wife has 3 husbands.
Correct.
That's a hell of a married with children.
They can dilly-dally around with anybody they want to.
Oh yeah, they're not. Oh yeah, and it's not monogamous between the 3. They have no problem with. They have basically open thing. You know, it's like he does not care if somebody else has sex with his wife. To him, it's no big deal.
So that means if we can have a Blocks married with children, we can have 12 Kellys.
Oh my Lord.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah, or we could also get 12 Peggies.
Well, that's not a problem for me.
That may not be a problem.
She's a main star in the show. Come on. I have no problem with 12 redheads.
Well, yeah, there is that. 12 blondes, 12 redheads.
Yeah! That's good. We can go with that. Start the blocks spin-off right now.
Oh my God! Could you imagine trying to figure out the family trees in those in their society?
Yeah, that's weird.
Weird.
Well, they said it was true. Well, we don't know if everyone, but they said it is common for each husband to have 3 wives and each wife to have 3 husbands. That's the customary. But I think he did kind of say that 2 people in a marriage isn't even custom for our people, or at least not a proper marriage. So it's not that it doesn't happen. It's just one of those that would be more of a taboo kind of relationship, kind of the opposite of what we would think of it.
It's gonna be San Francisco in 30 years.
Yeah, pretty much. That's assuming anybody survives the needle injections that they're giving out. Make sure you wear a mask. Oh, hey, you need some heroin? Here you go. Here's a syringe for you. No, don't worry. It's already got the heroin preloaded for
Dude,
you.
it's all they fixed everything. They have a poop patrol, and they made an app for it. You're fine. You're good. It's all fixed.
Somebody's
well, I'm not
ankle
taking
biters
any
are hungry.
vaccine. I'm not taking any vaccine anytime soon. That's for sure.
Well, I tested negative last time I went to the doctor, so I'm okay.
I'm gonna hide. They're not gonna find me. Not giving me no.
Unfortunately, they can find me. I'm stuck. Unfortunately, I get 2 government. I get 4 between my wife and me. We get 4 government checks a month. They kind of got to know where I live. Sorry, I want my money.
Well, that doesn't mean they are eager to make you a next guinea pig in the line.
Oh, no, trust me. They got plenty of other guinea pigs still active duty for that.
Yeah. Plus, you're a mechanic, right?
No, I was an IT guy.
Whatever. They need IT guys.
They got plenty of IT guys. Trust me. I was mainly a repair guy. They got plenty of them. They don't need me anymore.
No.
Besides, I wasn't like I was doing that anyway. I was a manager because I was an E6, and trust me, they got more than enough managers. They don't need me anymore.
Man, so like Biden should outsource the military, man. That'd be cool.
Well, let's not talk about that.
You're talking about IT. I'm like, oh.
I don't think you want to privatize military force anytime soon.
Yeah. Let's talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well,
imagine a colonial army of NB geeks.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, at least I'd know my history. So there is that nice little aspect. I actually learned something interesting. I was looking up the other day federal holidays, and I was like, I was trying to remember where was the first Memorial Day, and I had thought about it, and I remembered. I looked it up, and it actually started Charleston, South Carolina. It was started by former slaves to honor 200 and something Union soldiers that had fallen in a battle there. Yeah. And I thought, wow, there's something they didn't teach us in history class ever.
No, of course
I thought
not.
That was pretty cool.
That would be reasonable.
Well, it should be. It should be. I mean, that kind of stuff makes sense. It's like, just because it's a federal holiday now, most federal holidays started somewhere in some space somewhere. So, that is very interesting and should be, a regular. You know, it should be at least something they teach in school. I mean, Memorial Day is kind of important. I mean, I knew it was originally, the idea was originally for honoring Union and then eventually Confederate soldiers, but I didn't know its very beginning origin. So I love learning. Like I said, I love learning history like that.
Now let's see here. Wow, we've been going 3 hours. Damn.
That's the average time.
I am surprised that YouTube has let it go this long because, well, YouTube sucks. And with that, I would like to thank my panel, and I would like to thank everyone in chat. I'm going to go ahead and call this a stream. And again, thank you, YouTube, for screwing us over. Thank you for taking control away from our channels. Thank you for taking control away from our mods. YouTube,
look,
you suck.
there is no such thing as bad publicity. Whatever you do is good for them.
Well, whatever.
No matter how little you are.
At least I can say